Hey guys, look, I don't know. Maybe I should have started out more like this.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That would be more appropriate for this situation. And no, I'm not going to spew a bunch of fake outrage if you believe that this is what this broadcast is about to be, or a bunch of virtue signaling, because that would be pretty easy at this point, you know. But I will always be against sexual activity with a minor. I'm just going to go ahead and get that out of the way before we start to say anything else. So if you think this is one of these weird old broadcasts where I try to justify this guy's position, this is not the place. And if you are sub to this channel and you believe that I should be taking the stance where I'm going to justify this guy's position, I'm going to tell you immediately to go ahead and unsub right now, because I don't need you around here. Your opinion is valued and is appreciated, but I'm just going to go ahead and take that stance right now. So, other than that, welcome to Black Men Being Brutally Honest. This is Kev, and this started from a Facebook group called Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone. And that means with everyone, including other black men and anyone else that I ever so may choose to make the subject matter. And I'm not going to replay the interview because I don't know, people pull funny things with copyrights, and they try to, say you can show the material, but I'll monetize it, all this other stuff. I'm just gonna speak my piece. I'll say that. So unless I can somehow make it okay, I can say fair use. But it's just a lot of that stuff is cringeworthy. And up until I would say today, I've heard the name a few times. I don't really know who Glendon Cameron really was. So for me, I did some short term research on the situation, and I understand that he is a millionaire, um, and cool, whatever. It's it's all good. He's done well for himself as far as his finances, and it's if we I don't know. In my experience and how these narratives go, it doesn't seem to really matter if a black man has money. It's always going to be about his code of conduct. I mean, you better believe that. So, um, here's the subject matter: laws versus morality, outrage versus fake outrage. Glendon Cameron. Um, it just here's for things like this. I would say it has to fall under the category of common sense. So let me give you a little visual. All right, hold on one second. And by the way, for those of you walking in, please hit that like button. Yeah, I will put it under this. I'll put it under this little bit right here. J3, what's going on? And uh, Kwaku Hisai, what's going on? Thanks for watching. All right. I tuned into Anton Daniels' broadcast briefly before this broadcast, and he was doing his reaction video to Glendon Cameron. I guess he was sitting in this expensive car. Yeah, I speak like this. Forgive me for not being more knowledgeable of the material world, but he was sitting in his expensive car, and he was talking about how he empathizes with R. Kelly, and because of his experience, and he just goes on this whole just these stories of his, just You ever heard somebody say too much information? Um, yes, this was definitely this was definitely too much information. I'm like TMI, TMI. Now, at the end of the day, you can say, who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? We've all done things that we wouldn't exactly tell anyone. Well, you know what? Here's the thing: when you tell someone, then whether you call yourself bullshitting, lying, what he was saying, he was trying to get some attention so he can grow another channel. There are just certain things that you just don't play with. I mean, um, because let's just keep it in common sense territory, common sense lane. If I were a person who had a major amount of attention, which will happen, and subsequently will happen, then I'm not going to tell bullshit stories like they're true just so I can go viral. Because here's the thing: he called it an experiment. He called it an experiment. Let me speak about, like, let he was more so along the line of speaking about his experiences to see what kind of reaction he would get, and he got a reaction. Here's the thing: there's this all these huge negative stigmas on black men, and then when you get into certain age groups, like he admitted that he was in contact with a 15-year-old, that he did something in front of a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. It's pretty cringy. He pretty cringy. He was describing that he was describing the ways to actually be a predator. He was describing it. I don't know if he read some kind of murder mystery novel or what, but imagine, the guy in the 40-year-old virgin. Imagine that guy. Imagine that guy, but he's telling a really cringy story. And I'm not saying Glendon Cameron's a virgin or anything like that, but this is kind of the way it sounded. You know, it's like this: when you use what you have in your possessions to, you know, move you forward in to gain their respect, and then you tell bullshit stories, kind of like Fresh Prince CEO with that Fresh and French Fit debacle a few weeks ago. I mean, that's just how it sounded to me. It just sounded like a guy that was just on way too much bullshit. But it was very sexually graphic bullshit. And you have to understand that in the common sense lane, if you are a black man at just about any level, you cannot be like that, even if you are lying. And a lot of people try to go on to say that he's lying, he was just doing it for attention. But the stuff that he said, it's like, ugh, why would you say that? Why would you say that? Say if he was lying. Ain't nobody going, if say for instance, if I got it on here, it was just that crazy to me. If I had gotten on here one night and said I got in front of the supermarket and took my dick out and started just jumping up and slapping people in the face with it, even though there's no police report, there's no news story of a guy ever doing that, you know, motherfuckers be doxing me and shit just to see if it happened. I mean, it's crazy shit, so I don't know if all of it happened like this guy said it happened. Then there are definitely some Me Too cases on the way, because I don't know if this guy's been watching the media or not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just the type person that wouldn't joke around or fuck around and say things that I'm not about just to get some attention. Sure, he has money. Okay, great, awesome, good, fantastic. But I mean, it just I had to hear it for myself. Okay, this is like I said, this is me doing very short research. This is me doing very short research. Me not knowing who Glendon Cameron is. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't. I didn't see his comment section bombarded with "you're a predator" unless he's erasing those comments. But the shit, you gotta admit, the shit's cringy. Like, the story he told about the white woman with the daughters, it sounded like it was straight out of a porno movie. Don't ask me how I know that, but still, they always say those girls are 18 and up. It's like, if you're doing stuff for attention, can't you just? I mean, look, dude is of brother is of he's of high social status. Can't he do it another way? I'm not gonna justify anything. I'm not gonna. At the same time, everybody have heard me say repeatedly that I have a little girl. And I know what I would do if somebody tried it on her at that particular age. It would. I don't, nah, you don't chestnut checkers. You don't give away your hand, but you get the idea. When it and I mean, like, nobody's gonna sit up there and say fuck all that when it comes to people in their family. So when people say stuff like that, they do have a point. And I understand the kinds of things and the kind of mindsets that I was dealing with when I was the age of 15, 16, and 17. We were already on that shit. And it was 91 and 92. But I'm not going to fake it. I didn't have sex till after high school. But I knew a lot of people who did. There were a few pregnancies. God damn. So, really, for me to come up here and say the things that I'm about to say, I will say this. I have to make sure that in any situation, I am teaching my kid that balance and how to do the right thing and how to navigate in this world. First of all, teaching her that she has a value and it's something that should not be thrown away. So, for you parents out there that keep, like, getting yourselves in these whack ass situations with your kid, you have to examine what kind of parent you were and not particularly blame the world first, because if anything happens, I'm going to blame myself automatically. I'm going to blame myself automatically, but I do not condone or justify any of that. So, a lot of that shit, really, honestly, he could keep it to himself. Let's think about the one situation he was talking about, the white women. Yeah, if if the parent is right there and that actually went down like that, then ain't really nothing you can say. It was consensual. The parent was supervising. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that the last time I mention that. But if you found out she was underage, or what people would say was underage, like she's still a young girl, because here it is. Really, people were brought up with the legal age was 18, all over the place. Legal age was 18. We know how it is from state to state, and you can't. And okay, if the legal age is 16, if you actually decide to go that route, then if there is, let me see, if the parents don't pursue you, then it's all good. If they, it'll be consensual. But that really doesn't mean that you actually do it. And I think he said he was doing this as an experiment just to see what will happen. It was it the act itself, or telling it like that on YouTube as an experiment. Oh yeah, yeah, it was telling it like that on YouTube. But still, you don't joke about shit like that. Yeah, I know freedom of speech, Smurgo. I know he can say what he wants to say. But I mean, is it still though? It's like the like, I'm not saying he can't say it, but there is definitely a consequence to saying stuff like that. I get it. Thanks for warning people about you. Not you, Smurgo, but if you're definitely into if you're definitely into giving all your little secrets away, I mean, then you have to prepare for the onslaught of what's coming. I can say I know I can't go out there and say stuff like I've had dealings with a 15-year-old or 16, 17. I can't go. I mean, because first and foremost, I'm married, and that's out of the fucking question anyway. So that if I were to go and do something like that, then I'm fucked. It is no discussion at that point. So it's really, I would say, tough to speak about this in a way that is not biased. I do have a bias when I speak like this, and I can admit that. But I feel as if it's a good bias. I mean, it comes to the question of would I let him around my family members, and the answer is no. Would you let him around your female family members? If that's you, that's you. And I'm not going to shame you with that question. You don't have to answer it. Nobody does. But at the same time, I'm telling you what my position is. Even if I'm lying, even if I'm joking about it, shit, I would understand that there is a consequence that goes along with that kind of thing. Peoples Hernandez, Phi Beta Sigma, what's going on? Thanks for watching. And everybody, please hit that like button. I will open up the panel momentarily because this is black men being brutally honest. And I do take a responsibility for all the views and the opinions that are shared on this program. But I also have the right to oppose any of them as well. So let's just make it that kind of environment tonight. It's really I wouldn't. It's hard. It's hard not to speak as a father on this one. It's a part of my life. I can't separate the two. I can't, you know, I have to do what I can to protect mine. And that's the understanding when we speak on things like this. So if you don't have a kid, then you can't speak like me. You can try, or you can try to empathize, but I would understand if you did not understand. I would. I'm different. I'm a little different than a lot of other folks. I don't. I hope you noticed. So anyway, hmm, yeah, but the whole. Yeah, I wouldn't have started off with empathizing with R. Kelly. I mean, I already pretty much said that R. Kelly was a sick man and needed to be put away. But the way he was railroaded, with the Mann Act, that wasn't right. That wasn't correct. So it's one of those things that you have right is right and wrong is wrong. Is right that R. Kelly is no longer has access to females, but is wrong the way that it went down. You know, and we always talk about how the justice system is flawed and how the laws need to change. So uh, that only is in some cases and not in others. Yeah, I mean they use archaic laws to fuck us over all the time, and is we don't bring these things up consistently. We know that black men get screwed around with on a regular basis. Yet we want to use the law in this case, to say, hey, screw it, fuck it, it's okay this time. Can we actually do that? Can we actually do that? Can we actually say, hey, you know what? Little archaic laws need to be changed if we're going to say the law is okay in this case? Just like I say with, the laws that are unfairly leveraged against black men that the bitter BW baby mama uses to levy against, guys who were the unlucky guys that impregnated them. Just like we say those laws need to change. Hell, now the justice system is okay in this case. I'm telling you, the guy's on his way to being a Me Too case. He's put himself in very dangerous waters, and he's already building something right now. You guys always say, don't trust these women. You guys always say that shit. Don't trust these women. So, can he trust any of those women at this point? Shit, we have already established in this space that you don't trust these hoes. Yeah, and I agree. That's why I don't dabble in bullshit like that. I think even if he was clout chasing, yeah, great, awesome, he got some attention, cool. My understanding was he was already getting that kind of attention. And I mean, like, let's face it, comparatively speaking, yeah, he is getting attention. So, I mean, what's the deal? What did he believe that he wasn't doing good enough that would prompt him to do some dumb shit like this if he was already getting the attention? If he was already getting the clout? If his words were already chicken soup for the soul? Like, what the fuck would he need to do that for? But okay. I mean, just look like this. Common sense will tell you that for every action there's a reaction. There's everything you do. You either have a positive reaction or there's going to be a consequence. People are going to be talking about it, and this is exactly. And yeah, let me go ahead and admit that this is exactly what he set out to accomplish. To become a YouTube stimulus check. as people say, a YouTube stimulus check. For, in the case of some people, so it's awesome. But, as black men, we have to start talking about what's fucked up about us at some point. You know, I mean, you don't have to. You ain't got to personally. I'm not trying to appoint black men with this task that says you have to start holding other black men accountable, because I am a firm believer that black men are held accountable anyway on a regular basis, and this is some of that accountability. Hell, you're allowed to hold me accountable if I fuck up. Shit, I'm not even in the realm of playing. Yes, if I fuck up, I'm going to be held accountable whether I like it or not. And we talk about the levels of accountability all the time. So this is it. The court of public opinion is open. I mean, and for some of the things that have been said in this space, hey, you know what? I would even say that I'm not even all that shocked, because I mean, like, is I bear witness to many things. I mean, being being 45, shit, man. Let me tell you something, man. It's like I have witnessed things that were seen as regular behavior, but would be cringe in 2021. I mean, not being an accessory to a crime or anything, maybe, but nothing sexual or nothing like that. But it's just it's you I don't know how the internet will react to some of these snuff films that I would have friends get a hold of. And one example that I always use as a snuff film that everybody had to hold of was the R. Kelly tape. I did a broadcast a little bit back saying R. Kelly is guilty and so are we, because we sat there and we all watched that R. Kelly tape, and then act like we realized we was in possession of child pornography. I didn't own the tape, but it was a watch party. I was at a watch party, and it was like, and then people I knew that were elders, they had seen the tape. And then, like I said earlier about high school, if you ever went to high school, there were many, many, many things that went on in high school. So I didn't come in here as judge, jury, and executioner because, justice finds us all one day. Just make sure as a young black man that you keep your nose clean. I'm not saying keep your mouth shut because, yes, freedom of speech is what we're all about here in this space. But be careful. Be careful. I mean, shit. Uh, Abdul Kabal. That's not snuff. R. Kelly wasn't snuff. Well, I don't know. I mean, it should be. G. Serotonin, what's going on? The court of public opinion is for simpleton. I know that. Look at the public and explain why we should be concerned. Y'all more excited about this than black boys being illiterate. I mean, yeah, but I'm not excited about black boys being illiterate. Who the fuck is excited about black boys being illiterate or exited? Whatever you was trying to spell out. I'm not excited about that. That is an extreme tragedy. You know, you know what else is an extreme tragedy? What happened with Jerry Sandusky that no one ever wants to fucking focus on because black boys were impacted. I understand. I get it. Should I did the broadcast about illiteracy? Would y'all have been here for that? Yeah, you know what? I'll do that. We'll talk about why these boys can't read. And you know what? And how but see, here's the thing. Every time you hear a black man or a black woman say a complete sentence, we have this thing that we say, we call them talking white. So let's spend a little time on this. So guess what? We gotta fucking stop telling black people they're talking white. So young black boys would believe and understand that it is okay to be able to learn how to read and say complete fucking sentences. That kind of thing is cool. Let's start off with the fucking mentality. Yeah, let's make divulging that information exciting. Since we want to say that. No, I'm not excited about black boys being illiterate. I think that shit is dumb as fuck and something needs to be done about it. But guess what that conversation's gonna lead to? Single mothers. Yeah, and then when someone makes a suggestion of, hey, you know what? There need to be strong male figures. Like maybe we need to marry these girls first before they have kids. Then we have pushback on shit like that too. You motherfuckers be all over the place with this. You know. So let's do one thing at a time. First of all, telling these niggas around here that hey, you know what? There are plenty of people at your age that you can fuck. Let's do that. I mean, some of them are a little sharp. You're gonna have to do some things, to try to get through to that shell and everything. And we have to understand if she wanna fuck you, she'll fuck you. It has to be consensual. You know, I shouldn't have to say shit like that to niggas. Okay? Feel how you want to feel. We can make black boy literacy a concern. Cause then like we understand that kind of thing eventually turns into why the father ain't there for their child. And then when you turn around and say stuff, well, they fucking some illiterate motherfuckers. Then there's the pushback. Oh, black men always blame it. So I get it. All these conversations. Yeah, we're always having these conversations. So yeah, you know what? We good. But don't police the conversation. Don't do it. This guy called out names in the manosphere. So I mean, I don't know if these names really feel good about being called out. Edward probably Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I'm not saying I'm not putting any judgment on Edward. This is not saying, oh man, if you support the Glendon Cameron motherfucker, I didn't come up here to say that. You know, some people will, some people have. You don't need to defend yourself around me. I want you to understand that. All I'm saying is common sense. There's a consequence. You know, it all depends. Everything ties in. I get it. Nobody wants to listen to that, though. Nobody wants to listen to that logic. Everybody wants to say, "Hey, you know what? If we solve this, if we take out this one little detail in the whole big ass problem, and we solve that one little detail, then that's it." No, it's a very deep problem with our people. You know, I'm not here to say the men are all to blame for it, but I'm definitely not here to say the women are all to blame for it. But the women have a lot to do with it. They do. I mean, that's the truth. But this is about this guy right here saying stupid shit. y'all act like y'all act like a lot of you act like it's okay. It's not okay, man. I mean, I mean, shit. This look. I mean, I want y'all to understand is that one day we are at black men, we're gonna have to care. That's the reality. Period. It's like look at the way they be sinking them dudes in Hollywood. Like Bill Cosby. I think Bill Cosby is just a victim of circumstance. Basically, something that was okay back in his day wasn't okay in 2021. Wasn't okay in 2015 or when 2018, 2019, whenever the trial was. You know, we have to stop thinking in terms of everything happening this year because it didn't. But at the same time, say somebody put something in your drink and then had sex against you. I'm just playing. Yeah. But think about shit like that, man. Seriously, seriously. Are we up here to just talk shit? Is it this what it is? Is this what it's about? What Glendon said is okay. It literally doesn't matter. Okay, all right. I mean, we can all have an opinion on it. I mean, at the end of the day, if there is no solid evidence that any of this happened, at the end of the day, then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter until solid evidence surfaces. But I can say what was said was super cringe, whether it matter or whether it doesn't matter. Like I said, the whole thing about slapping people in the face with my dick, you know, I was like, unless it actually happened, it doesn't fucking matter. I get that. I honestly get that. I'm serious as a fucking heart attack. I get that. I get that. And the reaction, like I said, is exactly probably what he wants. Which seems to be good business strategy because, it proves that if you say the right things, you can get a reaction. You can go viral. Your views can go up. What he probably said would probably get the attention that he needed to launch that channel, the Lost Kings. Uh, um, so whatever. So whatever. If it works, it works. More power to him. Now nobody's talking about fresh and fit anymore. I'm gonna tell y'all something about. I did mention Fresh Prince earlier, but whatever. Um, I'm tell you something an older person told me. I'm one of those guys that got respect for older people because that's the generation I grew up in. And I'm not telling you that you're wrong in cursing me out for being an older person, but hey, you know, I mean, different people react to different things. But they told me, um, like, what did she tell me? it was more along the lines of people just doing shit for attention. Bad publicity is still publicity. Yeah, people have short memories. That's what she said. People have very short memories. This is the only broadcast I'm going to use to talk about this. I'm not going to talk about this next broadcast. I'm not going to make a video about it. This is it. This is it. This is it right here. I'm not going to spend time on this. This is the flavor of the day. And what I heard was kind of shitty. I was like, this dude is crazy. Just shoot off any questions that y'all want to ask me at this point in the chat. Ask me any question that you want. Let's see if Kev can be brutally honest. G. Serotonin, is there going to be a panel? Yeah, there's going to be a panel. Yeah, people have very short memories. Ain't nobody gonna care about this. Ain't nobody gonna be dragging Glendon Cameron in the mud. Maybe a couple channels. Maybe a couple of those pink pill channels will say, "Oh, what's wrong with black men? Glendon Cameron, Glendon Cameron. What's wrong with black men?" See, that's what the manosphere is like. You're gonna hear all of that shit. I mean, if you pay attention to that, of course, I mean, there's a lot of anti-manosphere sentiment around here. There's enough for, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. But you're gonna have that. But outside of that, it'll be somebody else. If something happened with a celebrity, ain't nobody gonna say shit about Glendon Cameron. I'm just giving you my thoughts and my sentiments. And I stand on everything I said. So there you go. Okay, God, straw man arguments. Okay, yeah. I've mentioned that before too, man. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Yeah, black women telling everyone to abort black children if they're the males. Yes, I understand that. I know what YouTuber said it. I know everything. Yeah, is yes. There's a lot of fucked up shit out here. There's a lot of fucked up shit out here, but we have to not cherry pick. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like just like when the women say shit, and then some motherfuckers say it's entertainment. Other motherfuckers say no, they mean that shit. They COONs, they buck dancing, they are traitors, blah blah blah, all of that stuff, without realizing that there are plenty of males in that movement as well. So yeah, let's talk. Let's say all of it shitty. But let's not do the all lives matter. you know, on stuff like this. Let's not do that. I mean, if you want to, because freedom of speech. But I have freedom of response. We all do. So yeah, let me go open up this panel. Let's do this. And yeah, this would be the perfect time for Sierra to divorce Roe and watch everyone instantly forget about Glendon. Like I said, you know what we're risking when we open up these panels. Hey man, did I say Glendon Cameron was a scumbag? Cause I know how these conversations go once you open up a panel. No, did I say Glendon Cameron was a scumbag? I said he was kind of cuckoo. Yeah, I said say that, and I said that I wouldn't have done it. I don't play around. I don't fuck around. Cause hey, let me emphasize this again. We as black men, you know what they do to our image. We know what they do to our image. That's all I'm saying. So, all right, open up this panel. Everybody can speak their piece. I'm not. I'm a okay guy. But the routine, if I have a picture up here covering up the screen, is only because I'm trying to um, not have those trolls come up here and do what they did to Roger's channel. They got the one they got deleted. So All right, there it is. There it is. Let me do something real quick. There it is. So, everyone, please hit that like button as you walk in or as you visit the broadcast briefly, whatever you decide to do. Like I said, just stick around. Let me, all right. What's happening?
Hey, what's up with you, Kev? How you feeling?
All right, good, man. Shoot, I'm cool, man. Shoot, like I said, I have, well, I've explained that I had very short research in this subject. And, I understand that this is what a lot of people are talking about. And once I checked it out, I thought it was worth a mention. So, I mean, what's going on? Uh,
Oh no, I just wanted to open. I want to give you your flowers, man. I've been looking at your pages for a couple years now, man. You be having me rolling, man. I remember I first discovered your stuff on the book, man. I was dying, man.
uh,
I was like, I couldn't hold it in. You was telling the truth so bad, man. I would just be like, look, man. Everybody don't want to believe us when we tell the truth. You was telling the truth so funny. When I first seen the stuff, I used to show my mom and everybody that shit. They used to be pissed. I used to be dying, man. I used to just be on the ground rolling. Because finally, when I discovered the whole manosphere and stuff, man, it was just like a breath of fresh air that we finally started speaking out, man. We
mm,
finally started telling the truth. Like, look, man, we about to tell the truth about this shit. Finally.
mm,
Because we always, as brothers, we always sacrifice for the higher good of everybody. It was always us was the ones who was doing the sacrifice.
mm,
People talk bad about us, we gotta shut up. We gotta be quiet. We like niggas ain't shit. We just gotta be like, oh yeah, niggas ain't shit.
mm.
I've watched. It was so bad. I watched dudes who take care of their kids agree when they baby mama be like, niggas ain't shit. Like, bro, didn't you just give her $500?
That nigga drank the Kool Aid.
He drank the Kool Aid. That's why when I
Donnie,
discovered
Donnie.
the pages, I spread them so good, bro. This shit just be having me laughing sometimes.
Yeah, man.
While I'm on your side. I would never deal with no fucking 16-year-old female.
No.
Never. I wouldn't even cross that line. First off, I know better. Fuck. I don't care what the law says. I know what I look like in the mirror.
Now let's be careful with our wording. We're saying dealings. Like, it's like even if he didn't touch her, the fact that he was
Uh,
in her presence doing that or
I
said he
wouldn't
did
have
that.
a I wouldn't have a conversation with a 16-year-old woman. What do we have to talk about? You
Nothing.
know what I'm saying?
Zero zilch.
Exactly. I wouldn't even have no unless it was
I
like
mean, what, you
she
watching
was taking my
Nickelodeon?
order at McDonald's or something. Like, give me a
Talk
double
about what candy's the
cheeseburger.
best.
I wouldn't even do that. Telling them about candy might be misconstrued. So I'm not agreeing with GC and what he's saying, man. What I'm just saying is like I was just surprised to see this outrage from the bros. Like, boom, it just lets you know that the blue pill shit is still right under the surface.
Mm,
When people say they red pill and all these pills, it's about reality and what's real and what's not real. You know what I mean? What's a construct and what's an actual thing. We
hey,
know a lot of
Smargo.
this stuff.
Smargo. He asked what were you talking about at 16? I know what I was talking about. I was talking about Street Fighter 2 when I was 16. So,
Man, at 16, I was trying to
but
figure
I
out
know
how to
I
cook
know.
a hamburger.
Oh, but
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah. What's going on, Donnie?
man, what's going on? Long live the habitual line stepping ass niggas. What's going on?
Long live, long live.
Hey, but to answer the question, what was I talking about at 16? I was talking about pussy. Hey, bitch, you fucking? Let's kick it. Let's go back to my car. Can I pick you up after hours? Just sneak out the back door.
Yeah, I bear witness to a lot being in a high school marching band, a black high school marching band. I'll say that.
Oh, band campus for real, huh?
Yes,
We not
absolutely.
gonna
That is no exaggeration.
see what fucked me up about this shit is we all went to high school, right? We know that girls are fucking whores in high school, unadulterated, blatant. They're doing all type of shit. So I don't know why it's so far, like how dudes is reacting so heinously. We all knew those girls that was leaving school fucking with grown dudes.
I would say,
We seen girls getting dropped off by dudes at school and all type of shit.
I'm gonna say two things. I'm gonna say two things. Number one is it really is not okay for a 40 plus man to just try to screw a 17-year-old girl. Let's go ahead and get that out
No,
the
no,
way.
no. Yeah, we know that's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah, yeah,
wrong.
yeah,
That is wrong. It is wrong.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is we know that this stuff happens.
yeah.
And we know that it's not we gonna just keep it 100. Just like when the LGBTQ shit first started. I wasn't surprised because I knew niggas was gay. Like I knew y'all niggas being gay. I don't understand why everybody
and
was so shocked at
and, and, no,
niggas being gay.
and number two, yes, there was a lot of horror things going on in high school, and I was in high school in 92, 93. Yes, there were things going on then. Like I said, pregnant girls and girls and guys just having sex out the wazoo. Sneaking off the school. It was crazy.
Hey,
It was craziness,
listen, man.
and I,
When I
I
was in high school, we used to hit chicks on the side of the football field. They was with it.
yeah,
We was
but
all like 15 and 14 and freshmen in high school. We would all meet up, skip school, and it'd be going down in public places.
but understand this: if say I wasn't, with some, I wasn't married, I wouldn't go to the high school campus looking for pussy.
No, no, none of
So,
us. Listen, none of us are condoning this dude. Man. Like we all agree that this nigga was tripping.
yeah, he
Like,
was
bro,
kind
you
of.
was tripping, bro. You was on some shit. You could have went to jail. You could have lost your life or anything.
That's
I
part of
think
his.
the dude.
That's part of his problem because the nigga was. He's just mentally broken. Because you got to think when you was well, listen, when I was 16, I'll speak for myself. I remember I hung out with everybody who was older. And I had an older homie, he was about 25. He said, fuck all these young bitches while you can. Because after you hit 18, it's going to be a problem. And he was telling me that because, and it really made me focus because a lot of them girls was out there trying to be on some experimental shit. Their homegirls was pushing them in the fucking, they was out there trying to be as freaky as possible while they could. I remember so many stories, so many girls in
Hey,
situations
no cap.
being,
Hey, Donnie, no cap. I didn't even know what a blowjob was till a girl told me.
oh, Nick, bro, we was on that early. I remember a bitch telling me we were in eighth grade and we was talk. I was trying to talk about. I was talking about fucking, and this bitch told me, "Oh, she was like, oh, when I met you, I wasn't a virgin. I met that bitch in sixth grade, huh? Come again?
Listen, man. What I was just so shocked about is the denial. This is why I be struggling with some stuff in the manosphere because I don't think a lot of these niggas was fucking with females. Like, was y'all actually dealing with women, or do y'all got like these ideas about women and you never really fucked on them, or you ain't never had a bitch just choose you to fuck that day? Man, I done went somewhere and met a girl. She was like, "Ooh, you sexy," and I was hitting that shit a couple hours later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of dudes around that are that miss the window, right? These were nerdy dudes who probably I don't want to say play Dungeons and Dragons because that give them a bad look, but these were the type of niggas who just had no access to the pussy, and then they got older, and those same girls wasn't trying to fuck with them because they was fucking with older dudes, and then they got a little bit more bitter, and now they're at the point because I've heard niggas say, "Oh, well, you've had sex with a bunch of women, you got a bunch of babies, nigga." What? You like you don't know about condoms? I like niggas
You
telling
don't know
themselves all
they
the
know them
time.
niggas don't know that them bitches is eating that shit, boy.
Hmm.
mm,
It was so many broads in high school. I remember I had a full time girlfriend my maybe freshman or sophomore year, and I took her virginity. And probably about The second semester, we was breaking up every weekend so I could fuck a new bitch. And on that Monday, I'd come back and be like, you know what, baby, I just we can work it out. I just miss you.
Look, I'm willing to bet that 99 man. Listen, women have had more partners than we have. So we do not agree with this Glendon Cameron dude. We know this nigga was wrong if he did it. We don't even know if he did it
Wait
or
a minute.
not. If
Wait,
he did it, he was
I
wrong.
missed that. What happened with Glendon Cameron?
That's what I'm
Um,
trying to figure out. I know he just said some shit, and I heard I heard a couple people talking about the age of consent and shit, and I was just getting into it like, nah, man. There's a reason why these laws exist and all this stuff, man. And a person is not like, and it just was a lot of shit getting thrown around out there, man.
but
But none of us agree
let me
with it.
tell you what I saw. Let me tell you what I saw. Uh, I saw Glendon Cameron speaking from a car. He did this video. He was speaking from his car, and he was saying that he empathized with R. Kelly because he met this girl on through some message board, and he said he thought she was 21, and turns out she was 17, and he said he already fucked her like 15 times. So once he found out she was 17, he kept fucking her. But he was saying that in the state of Georgia, the legal age is 16, so he should be cool.
So the problem with that is and people don't want to talk about it. Is just like when you're on a diet. There's some shit you shouldn't be eating. Let me stay away from the candy bars. But you don't have the self control to stop doing it. Are you telling me that you don't have the self control once you find out this girl is underage, is a 17-year-old, to say, you know what, let me at least pull back for a year or some shit? That's problematic.
No, I would. 'Cause I'm not trying to go to jail. Fuck all that.
Any
I'm
law
trying
like
to
that
avoid prison.
is there to set a limitation. It is all if they my understanding is if the parents choose not to press charges, then there's nothing they can do about it if it's consensual. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong on that. If I need explaining to, explain it
Yeah.
to me. Go ahead. You know,
Hey, but
but
I do see the legend, the OG Black Uru. How you doing tonight, fam?
yeah. Black Uru,
Hey, how you do, Donnie? How you do, Kevin?
what's
G.
going on?
Hey, what's
Thanks,
up, OG? How
thanks
you
for having me
feeling,
on the
man?
panel. You know, I listened to Glendon explain part of what happened. I think, what. Okay, he explained that he was involved with this white woman, and she brought her daughters to him.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the daughters was 16 and one was 17 or 18
17.
or something like
Yeah.
this. And apparently he had been involved in this woman and this kind of, this whole bull hot wife
Yeah.
deal,
Yeah, humble
this
bragging.
whole,
Like he
yeah,
said, she asked if he was a bull, and he was like, yeah. So she went over to, I mean,
yeah.
he went over to her house, and then she was like, she started saying that the white woman was made to be
Well,
submissive and to fuck the black man. That's what he said. It's
well,
graphic. It's
yeah. I
graphic.
mean, and that's what he presented. You know, it's difficult to me. It's complex to look at this as a predatory situation
No. I'm saying
when
if
the mother.
the mother's right there, so that's consent. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the mother brought the daughters to him.
Hey, now that I hear
So,
the story, I don't even believe that shit. I don't believe nobody mama would bring their daughters like slab. Like
oh
no,
no,
what?
no,
Like,
no, I definitely think a white woman can bring her daughter to a black man. To yeah, no,
you think so,
I can.
Uru?
we're just
Well, I'm not
clarifying the
saying.
story.
Look, I can't certify that particular story, but do I believe that a white mother, can bring her daughter to introduce her to a black bull, if you will? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I
Damn, man.
well,
Maybe I
I
don't
won't
know
go into
white
any
women like
detail,
that.
but I believe that. I definitely believe that.
Yeah, because I ain't never messed with no white girl before, man. So I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah,
I
then it's a different. When you're dealing with these white women, some of it's kind of like alternate universe type shit, right? Some of it is can be like you're in a different type
This
of
nigga said the
uh
Twilight Zone.
mode, right? It's a different type of mode of operations, kind, so to speak. So, look, again, it's one thing if you're going out and you're, like I say, predating on young girls or whatever. It's a whole different thing when you're in this kind of alternative lifestyle thing, and other things are being brought into this alternative lifestyle thing. I mean, you would hope that you would make good decisions in those situations, but it's so topsy turvy to just be involved in that. I mean, if you're in a situation where you're having sex with a white woman in front of her husband, you know, it's not a it's not it's a different type of headspace, if you will. It's not if you get into that stuff, and certainly if there are any drugs involved or whatever, it can go into some weird directions, especially if at some point there, are handcuffs and leather and whips and just all kinds of wild shit can happen
Yeah,
in that kind of scenario.
and I believe
So
you in
I,
that,
I mean, I,
man.
I just was listening to it from the perspective of, look, obviously, I can't support somebody having, you know, violating the law, with respect to having sex with a minor or whatever. So, I mean, that's pretty cut and dry. But once you get to the whether something is legal, and I mean, in Georgia, it's legal, 16 is legal to have sex, with you can have sex with a 16 in Georgia. You just can't. Whether you should, whether you personally think it's moral or whatever, that's a different thing. But it is legal. So at that point, you're on some real kind of edgy type shit. But if it's not legal, if it's not illegal, then like I said, I just look at it as kind of an alternative type shit.
how old was Glendon Cameron when this 17-year-old girl was running around him?
He said he was in his
Did he
mid
say?
thirties. I think he said it was about 20 years ago.
Yeah,
Because
The
I
nigga
guess
was
he
in
he's
the
in his
did,
mid
mid
man.
thirties.
fifties now. So I guess he would have been in
Yeah,
his mid thirties.
and
So
then he said he had sex with her from
yeah,
17 to
yeah,
20 to her being 22.
Yeah.
This is what he says. I'm just going off what he
I'm gonna
says.
say if
Wow.
he did that, man, dude
no,
know he was wrong, man. He know he was wrong for that shit,
yeah,
man.
In his 30s? Yeah,
He was wrong
come
for
on,
that
man.
shit,
It's
man.
yeah,
He was wrong for
man,
that
come on,
shit.
man.
But I know if it was sometimes the lines get blurred and shit. But he if he knew off top like this girl is 17 years old, he was wrong, man. Because you could
Yeah, I
just
mean,
think like, what would y'all even talk about? Like when
it,
we all sit here, we all grown men and we've all approached women. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a level of sophistication to your conversation. I couldn't imagine the level of conversation you even had with a 17-year-old.
well,
I
you know what?
struggle. I struggle to
I,
talk to 21-year-olds.
I, I don't think he was talking to her. I really don't. If this is the case, she probably coming over just to fuck. But
right.
he would know from fucking her that she's bitch. Wait a minute,
Hey,
you
and
don't
you
know
know
this,
what?
you don't know
There's
how
a
to do this.
old,
What's going on? I got to teach you this. It's too much at 17.
and I
Nah.
believe it with white people because there's this old movie, man, I had seen one night on Showtime, and it was like in Europe about this old white dude and a teenage white girl, and they was full blown. It was like at the the Essence Film Festival, not the Essence, but they got them little film festivals and shit that they do. You know what I mean? So I think other races of people got weird sexual shit going on that black people don't engage in.
Oh no. So in Europe, depending on the country, it goes from 16 or 14, right? So like certain countries, here we're accustomed to drinking at what 21, and I'm sure at Uru's, when he was in his prime, it was probably what 18. So it's a different dynamic. You can go to the bar and do all that shit, but at 14 to 16, depending on the country in Europe, it's just all is off to the races. And motherfuckers don't have no qualms about it. Be grown ass men going to fuck 15-year-old girls.
And you know, Hispanic men are like that. When we was in school, most of the
Man,
girls we seen dealing with like 40-year-old niggas was Hispanic girls.
I
Hispanic
remember.
dudes is wild, man. That's not me trying to slander them. That's me saying from my personal observation. I
No,
was
that's
when we was in 8th grade, there was girls, like little Mexican girls, getting dropped up at school. Like, who is that? Your uncle? Like, no, that's my boyfriend.
in
Like, what the fuck? This
in a
nigga work at the
lowrider.
slaughterhouse. He
Yeah,
work
and a
at the
lowrider
steel
no
mill.
20-year-old could afford. The shit says that. I remember being at the. I remember it was a girl I was trying to fuck. Big titties. We was probably about 15, 16, 15. And I remember trying to holler at this girl every day, and she was flirting back a little bit. And then it got to the point to where she wanted to go, but she was like, my boyfriend, he'll do this. He's crazy. He's this. And I remember seeing the motherfuckers out at the mall. This nigga had a full blown beard, mustache. He had a little rat tail. I'm like, this nigga old as fuck. And they be clenching on that bitch. You better not look at her. Cause they will catch a girl at 13 and raise her up to be his wife, and that motherfucker's a grown ass man.
Yeah. And that's why I just wanted to step
Yeah,
in with this, Kev. I'm gonna step down, man. I'm about to get ready to go to bed. But
Hey,
I was
but
gonna
but
say, man,
G, appreciate the kind words, man. Seriously,
oh no,
like,
most definitely. I
word.
just go step down, but I just want to say I like to I get in these situations because man, I hate when our image is so tarnished. Because I've seen European dudes, I've seen white dudes, Hispanic dudes, Asian dudes, Arab, like they all do way more heinous sexual shit than us. And it's like somehow we becoming these scapegoats. And I don't want brothers to co-opt that because we really the most, we don't do that much shit like that. When you look at the numbers according to the FBI, man, and the CDC numbers, we do the least domestic violence, the least we're on the bottom of those categories of domestic violence, sexual assault, any of those crimes. Everybody else outranks us. I'm talking about the numbers are astronomical, damn
But
near, yeah. So
hear what
that's
I
all I wanted to say, bro. And it's just like I just want to
the, yeah,
defend the black man.
the name of the story or the movie you were referring to is a famous movie called Lolita.
Yeah, Lolita,
Yeah,
Lolita. Matter of
yeah,
fact,
very
yeah. So
famous.
Oh
this is
God.
normal. This is normal
Yeah,
amongst these other races. This is not normal for us, bro. And I
yeah,
I
hate when
mean,
our
you
image
look,
we
is
get
you
it.
tarnished.
look. Those of us who are old enough, we recall seeing Brooke Shields naked at like 11 and 12 years old in movies.
Oh yeah,
You guys
yeah,
haven't figured out
That
the
There's
was
a
trick.
before the
movie
movie code.
called Pretty Baby.
You guys haven't figured
You
out the
know,
trick yet.
yeah. Complex
you know.
design. What's
So,
going on?
What's going on, man? How you guys doing?
Yeah,
hey,
good man.
complex.
It's interesting. You know, we haven't figured this out yet. As black men, we don't get it. We still don't get it. We still don't get it. We don't get it. They use your sexuality against you. It's your
Mhm.
downfall. It's your goddamn downfall. Black men's fucking egos. Pardon my language, but you ever notice every time they take a black man down, how is it through his dick?
Yep.
It's always through his dick. See, it's like time after time after time after time after time, we miss the mark. We miss the mark. Here's what we do. We argue the particulars. Well. Did he do this? Was it this? Was it the law? Is it immoral or law, age of consent? In this, look here. Let's do a quick little legal deep dive, real quick. You want to know why age of consent exists? Because if they didn't exist, basically you'd have a whole bunch of young people getting fucked by a bunch of adults.
Yeah.
So
Be Darwin.
you gotta put some sort of barrier. You gotta start somewhere, right? We'll say, hey, listen, 16 is reasonable. Please don't touch anybody younger than 16. We're thinking that you're mature enough to deal with people more in your age bracket, but look, it's going to be serious for you if you go past 16. 16, if the parents say it's cool, cool. But we're thinking 18 at least. Why? Because 18 is the legal age that you become a what? Adult, right? What's the difference between 18 and 16? How much of a difference of a female is there between 18 and 16 that has a man risking it all to be with a 16-year-old versus dealing with somebody who's legal at 18? I mean, this is simple goddamn logic, but goddamn, it's just like black men just will not get a fucking clue. They use your sexuality against you.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's
Well, look, I'm not
time tested
excusing.
technique. Go ahead, Black Rose.
God
I'm not. I'm
damn.
not. Well,
How many
I'm not
brothers that went
excusing.
down over a bitch?
Well, I'm
When
not.
the
I'm
fuck are
not
we gonna get a
excusing.
clue?
I'm not going to excuse. Obviously, anybody having sex with
No, I
young
mean, I literally
women
heard
or
cats sitting up here talking about, oh, y'all want to be moral, y'all want to be moral. It's like, okay, listen. You see, okay, the legal perspective says, well, listen, if those act in high moral compunction, that means that they're always in, the realm of the law where they're not transgressing against it. But if you remove any sort of law or any barriers or anything, that basically means that people will act moral less because there's no penalties, right? There's no
well,
repercussions.
I don't know. I don't want to have too much of a moral debate. With all due respect, complex. I
Yeah,
don't want to have too
yeah,
much of a moral debate, and the
of
reason
course
why,
not.
frankly, no. Let
Hmm.
me finish. I don't want to have too much of a moral debate because the problem with having the moral debate is, see, I would have to go in the direction of abortion. I would have to go in the direction of the rainbow effect.
No,
I
why are
mean,
we
once
deflecting?
you
No, Black Girl. Why don't we just stay
I'm
on the
not
behavior?
deflecting.
No, the
If you were
things that
talking
we
about,
can know,
if
the
you
things
want to,
that we can control,
the
the things
protect
that we can
children,
control.
if you want to protect children, that's fine. We can have that discussion. But
I'm talking about protecting yourself.
when we start talking about moral, when we start talking about
Mm.
moral, then it becomes a much more complex discussion. Frankly, becomes
It's
a much more complex
it's not. It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. It's pretty
then we have
simple.
to have a debate. Then we have to come up to some
No, we
with some
don't. No, we
agreement
don't. It's
as
actually
to
very
what is
simple.
moral.
It's
Yes, we
no,
do.
no,
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 it's not
no, we
that
don't.
simple.
No, we
It's
don't.
not that
No,
simple
it's
at
very
all.
simple.
It's not that
And
simple at
this is the
all. I
problem with
disagree.
black. This is the problem with
I
us black
disagree.
men, right? Like we think everything
I mean,
is fuzzy logic and shit. It's
I
not.
don't agree that
Black
we
girl, I
all
just
have the
told you they
same moral
use your
center.
shit against you. They
I
use it
don't care.
against you.
I
You
don't
don't
care.
care. Okay. Okay.
I don't expect
Okay.
black men to be superhuman. I don't expect black men to be
No,
held to a
I expect
standard
black men to be
or a
smarter
set
though.
of
I do
standards
expect them to be I
that
expect them to be
other
smarter
men are
though.
not being held to. Black men are vulnerable, black men are weak, black men are fallible, like all other men. They
Man, you can
make
say that.
mistakes, they
You
do
can say
things
that,
stupid,
man. This is
they
supposed to be
do
a
things stupid,
millionaire.
and the
Yeah.
only difference
Okay.
between us and everybody else is we're hunted for it. That's the only difference.
Nah,
We're
man.
no
Nah.
more evil. We don't make any more mistakes than him. We're no
See,
more
all
immoral
that
than
right
anybody
there,
else.
all
The
that right
only
there just
difference is
gives it an excuse.
we're hunted for what everybody else do.
Yo, man,
That's
I
the
Hey,
don't
did
only
you
agree with
think?
difference.
that, man.
Complex. Did you think I was being smug about the morality part? Did you think I was being that by putting morality into the title because morality is a big part of where this conversation is going on right now, and I thought that it needed
Right.
a spotlight. So
Well, that's why I brought it up because it was in the title, and
okay,
I'm saying morality is actually a component in law. If anybody out here who study law, okay, morality is a part of law, right? Because what the law is, what do they say? Ignorance of the law is no excuse, right?
Okay,
See,
this is
so
the same
the
moral law. This is the
wait.
same
I'm going
moral
back to
law
the moral.
that
Wait. He asked me. He just
if
asked me
your
something though.
daughter
He asked me
if your
something.
daughter
He
gets
asked me
pregnant,
something though.
if your
He
daughter
asked
gets
me
pregnant,
something.
if your daughter gets pregnant and go get an abortion, and don't even tell you that she
Hmm.
gets that abortion, and the law allows her to
Hmm.
do that, even though you're her
Yeah.
father, is that a moral act?
Is it a
Is that
moral
a
act?
moral act? Is it
It's murder.
moral is it moral for your
I just said it.
daughter
It's murder.
daughter?
Is murder
It,
moral?
it,
Is that a moral?
all
Is that a
right.
moral
Well,
thing to do to
so be it.
murder?
So obviously we're
No,
not
I'm
talking
asking you because
morality.
you asked me the question, so I answered
No.
it. It's murder.
Okay.
It's not moral. It's murder.
Is it moral for your daughter to
Is
be able
murder
to
moral?
have? Can you
Is that
answer
a
my
moral
question?
act? I did.
Is it
I'm answering it
is it
completely. Is
moral
murder a
for
moral
your
act?
daughter?
No, it's not.
Is it moral for your daughter to be able to engage in a serious, risky, your minor daughter to engage in a
Hmm.
serious, risky medical procedure without your
Hmm.
having you being her primary guardian having any knowledge and approval of it? Is that moral?
I just said it's not. No, it's murder.
Okay. Again, that's why I don't want to have this debate
Well,
about
no, morality is
morality,
part of the title. That's why we're talking about it.
when we
It's
talk
part
about
of
the
the
law,
title, and
because
that's why we're talking about it.
it's legal for your daughter to
Okay,
have
but you
that
didn't listen to
abortion
what I said
without you
earlier.
knowing about it.
What you didn't listen to what I said earlier. If you don't put any kind of thing in place, anything, that means anything goes. Now, I said that just because the law says 16 is legal, as a 44-year-old guy, I'm sorry, I ain't going. And that's a
Well,
moral.
that's your
That's a wait, and that is a moral decision, right?
that's
Even though the
just your
law,
personal
even though the
morality.
law, even though the law states 16, the moral decision on my part is like, listen, I got a daughter damn near your age. Yeah, see there?
Yeah, some other guy might not care. That's the same age as you. The morals are
Right, and
subjective.
but that's where the moral part comes in, Smurgo, because
And why?
that's a motherfucker who lacks morals.
No, he has different morals
Yes,
than
it
you.
is.
Doesn't mean he lacks morals. No,
No.
just
That's a
somebody
lack
having different.
thereof.
No, there
That's
is
a
the
lack of.
differing morals. Morals are subjective. Your perception is that there's a lack of morals, but his morals are just different. There's no
There
such
is
thing as
such
a
thing
lack
as
of
a lack of
morals.
morals. There
No,
is
there
such thing
isn't.
as a lack of
You
morals.
have different morals.
No, there's a
No,
lack. There
you
is such thing as
perceive
a lack of
morals.
them.
Okay, you perceive morals as all inherently
Why don't
good.
you
Some
pull the
people have
definition up of
no.
morals and
Some
let's go
people
over it? Can somebody
All
okay.
pull
right,
the
all
definition
right.
up
Hey,
and we can
fellas.
go? We can
Hey,
literally read
Yeah,
the
fellas.
word.
we can do that.
Fellas. Let's try to do this one at a time. Speak one at a time because we want
This
the
is
audience
sad.
listening.
This is sad.
I get it, but we need for people to speak one at a time. And yeah, Dollar Washer, you're right. This is a touchy subject, very touchy. So Smurgo, then Complex. Smurgo.
He's gonna pull up the definition.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it basically just means a standard that you hold upon oneself. It does not matter if it's good or bad by your own perception and interpretation. So a moral could be literally anything, and just because you do something that you would interpret as bad does not mean you have a lack of morals. It has a different moral. So you could see, okay, let's use something very simple. You could see the military killing people as bad. Other person would see as good. Now you can't say somebody approving of the military killing Afghans as a lack of morals because there are ways that the Afghans doing that could be interpreted as a good thing. They're fighting terrorism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Now
morals
you're talking.
morals are neutral
Look,
until you put your
let me say
morals
this.
are
Now,
neutral until you put your own perspectives onto them. A
let,
moral
let's
is
Jay
just
let's
a
u-
Clark, you said I was
placeholder.
next.
let's use a related subject.
Look,
Let's say a man and a woman are adults, legal adults, well into their 20s. They're not married. They have sex. They have unprotected sex. Is that a moral act?
is it a moral act? Is it
Unmarried
considered?
couple have unprotected
They're
sex.
two
Is that a
adults,
yes?
two consenting adults.
But they're not married.
Okay,
They're
but are they
unmarried.
adults and did they?
So
But
so
are they
so
adults? Are they
so
adults and did
I
they
mean,
consent?
and the Bible
Yeah, for
and the
Christians that would be a
Bible and the
moral.
Quran
Yeah.
and they all say you should be married to have sex.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if you have sex
So
outside
what you'll do?
of the
Right. I
confines
know.
of
I get it.
marriage, you
morals
committed
are
an
different
unmoral
depending on
act.
who you ask. That's the
I
point.
get it.
Morals
I
are
get it.
different
And
depending on
see,
who
by
you ask.
society standards, right? Two adults doing something consensual is that there's no moral objectification to that outside of those who might be more tilted towards, say, the Bible or something, right? Those who are more religious leaning may have some, they may wag their fingers at that, but greater society, right, says, okay, well, two consenting adults agree to do something, that's cool. Well, that's not what we're talking about, though. We're literally talking about a teenager, and I'm just kind of looking at us as black men, and I'm saying, okay, are we really willing to do this in terms of our own
Okay,
self-image to sit up here and
make
just
the
say,
greater
well,
society argument,
you know,
this society approves of D Wade turning his son into a girl. So like
I
we're
mean, what do
using the
you think
greater
about
society.
that?
I don't
Do
think
you
it's a
think
good
that's a
thing.
good look for black men also?
Nah, I don't mean I don't
Okay,
care one
so
way or
well, just
another.
okay. I hope
Personally,
not.
my moral compass personally is like, nah, that's not a good thing to do. Is turn your son into a girl. But if we're using the greater society
Okay.
argument, that's something that's very much approved of by society
Yeah.
is transitioning.
I mean,
That's
society is approving of a black man parading himself around with a pregnant belly.
No, what black
Society
men are
is
doing is
the
willingly. Black
society,
men are
the
willingly
greater
doing it.
society,
Black
the
men are
greater
willingly
society.
doing it, and society is
Okay,
saying, okay, if that's
can
what you
I
guys
finish
want to
my?
do, then great.
Can, all right, you cutting me off. Can I finish my statement?
Well,
In the
I was actually
media,
supposed to go out
in
for
the
smoke when you cut me off, but go ahead.
okay, all right, go ahead. No, you finish your
No,
statement.
go. You're good. Go ahead, man.
Hey, Black Uru, you can go. Go ahead, man. You can go.
No, all I'm saying is that look, if you want to talk about protecting minor children, and you say they're vulnerable and they're underdeveloped and whatever, I think we would probably agree there. It's this whole notion where you make it more of this quote moral thing that I don't know what the hell is moral today. And I think as I look around
Okay,
and I see
interesting.
men becoming women and men participating in female sporting events, I don't know what the hell is moral today. I don't know.
Well, okay. The reason why we're talking because it's literally in the title, right? So it
we
is
get
part.
that.
It's part of the conversation. Well, no,
What
he
he's
keeps saying like
what
he's
he's
like kind of
saying
like,
is
well, I don't know why we're
basically he
doing it. I'm like, well,
doesn't.
it was actually in the conversation, the title. So
Well, what he's basically saying is he doesn't know why some things are approved of and other things aren't. Like it's definitely some questionable moral things that's going on and nobody bats an eye at. That's what he's saying. So like when you take with that and that actually elaborates on the point that morals are subjective. Like you can take anything and
I,
say it's moral or
look,
amoral depending on your own
look,
perspective of it.
we're upset
you
with a
say that
guy
you say
having
like then
we're upset with a guy having sex with a 16-year-old girl, which is legal. Meanwhile, 500,000 or 600,000 black babies will be killed this year. So I mean, don't talk to me about morality. I'm sorry. I'm calling
Yeah,
bullshit on that.
well,
and
well,
a
well,
black woman
I'm
wait a
calling
minute.
total
and a black
bullshit.
woman
I'm
Difference.
calling
Here's
total
the difference.
bullshit on that.
Wait. Here's the difference. Here's the difference, right? As men, right? As men, you can control what you do. You can control what you put out here. You're in control of all of this shit. And what I'm saying is that the things that black men are in control of are the very things that they let run wild to take them out. And that's why I said they always use black men's sexuality against them because black men don't know how to keep the shit in check. We don't know how to get out here and move without putting dumb shit like this out here. I'm thinking Glendon Cameron is supposed to be this millionaire business mentor coach
Glendon
type of guy.
Cameron, whatever Glendon Cameron's doing is no different than his white, Arab, Asian peers are doing. The only
Mm,
difference between Glendon Cameron and any other man of his
mm,
comparable ilk that's not black, the only difference is that he is much more likely to be predated by the law enforcement than those other men. That's the only difference.
I literally
That's why
said they
Cosby.
use
That's why
black men's
Cosby goes
sexuality
down.
against
That's
you.
why Cosby goes down for some shit that Hugh Hefner was doing
Oh my
and
God, no, you
everybody
didn't
else
hear
was
me.
doing in fucking Hollywood for the
Yep,
last
and you
70
ain't hear
years.
me.
But of all Hollywood, Bill Cosby was the only evil demon. Him and I guess
Hmm.
Harvey Weinstein were the only men who were doing that shit. They were the
Yeah.
only
No,
ones.
Hey, would you all agree that there's a, I mean, even if it doesn't matter what he said, that there is a consequence for saying it?
No,
yes.
it's not a consequence. I don't agree with that.
Well, he said he gained subs. He actually lost them, and anybody who's serious about their own business would walk and not use him as a partner or a client, right? He's talking, dude. That
Yeah,
if I was
I
Jay-Z
mean,
talking to his at one
I
point,
don't know
I ain't
how
fucking with
he
him after
Well,
that
I
benefited.
shit.
mean, that's just
I
stuff
don't know
on
how he
YouTube and shit.
benefited.
Like,
I don't know how he benefits from
Sure, that's
doing
what I'm
what
saying.
he
Like,
did.
what
Yeah,
what are we doing here?
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Now, look. It's one
we
thing to say.
talking.
I mean,
Go ahead, Black Rose.
I might.
Okay, I'll let Black Over go, but eventually I want to elaborate on the consequences piece because I can get that how it can affect his business. But outside of that, like I want to see like what consequences other than finger wagging is gonna be from for what he said. But I'll just let Black Over rock for a minute.
No, I mean, I don't think he suffers any unless there's something recent, I guess, on his record that some a strength, some antagonistic female might bring to the fore, that might be inspired by his latest revelations. But assuming that those things don't exist, legally he'll be fine. But I don't see how what he has done could have helped him business wise. I could imagine if he's got business partners and sponsors and
Yeah.
investors, they would think
Well, then
positively of it.
that's his business though. But like that's like you can literally do anything in this world to make money. That's like if you made it once, you can make it again. I don't even
No,
see
the
that as a
question was how did he
consequence.
benefit?
Oh, the question is how did he benefit?
Yes.
Well, maybe just laughing his ass off. I mean,
Oh,
it could entertain them.
like a
It could
dopamine
be
fix?
literally
You mean
anything.
like just a massive dopamine hit? Like just a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
good gut
basically.
laugh?
Yeah, it could be anything. Like,
No,
Haha.
let's think about it from Glendon's perspective. Like, apparently he's like a millionaire, successful guy and shit. He's probably bored. So, like,
Well, this is the quickest way to lose that shit.
I mean, if he's really
No,
set, then
I'm
this
serious.
isn't gonna make him. If he's really set like he says he is, then he's not gonna lose it from this.
No, dude. That's either no. Look, let me tell you something, dude. I do talk about what I do. I'm in tech. I have a tech startup. It's a lot of moving parts. It's an IoT and micromobility and all that kind of stuff, right? A lot of things going on. A lot of projects on the table. Big things. Do you honestly think, with all this going on, I would go out and say some shit like that?
I don't think you would, but you probably can't. Just
Well, what I'm
it's
saying is
different.
that what I'm saying. That's what I mean, dude. Like anybody this wasn't smart. That's all I'm gonna say. This wasn't smart.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that, I get what you're saying, but if
Yeah,
he,
I mean,
I don't think he's dumb
and
enough to do something that he know would hurt his shit. I think if he's
Why
really
did he take the video
savvy.
down? Why did he take the video down?
I didn't know he took the video down.
Yeah, he took it down. Why?
yeah, because it could hurt him and it could prompt
Yes,
investigation.
Which,
that's why.
well, which video? Because is it still on this Lost Kings? Because I see the one where he says I was almost a predator or something. That's on his Lost Kings account. So and he has another video on his corporate channel, or whatever.
There's
And
like
it's like
two. There's
that's
the main one, and then there's one he did after that, and then he was on the lead attorney earlier
well,
today.
I see the predator video where he talks about it. It's not. He didn't take it down.
Is that the one he's sitting in the car?
Uh, it should be. Let me see.
has
Yeah.
anyone asked him? You guys hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Has anyone asked him why he made a point of revealing this information about himself? It
That
just
was the
seems very
second
odd.
video.
That's what I'm
No,
saying.
that was the
No,
second video he did.
now the understanding that I have, and like I said, I always could be wrong about these things, was that he was trying to launch his channel, Lost Kings. He was
Yeah,
trying to
and the
get some
video
quick
is still on
attention,
Lost Kings. Yeah,
and he was trying to get some quick attention to it. So
and it worked.
But how does I I I don't know. I'm suspicious of. I would
You're
think that he
saying
would think of. He's a smart, accomplished man. I would think he would think of a better, safer way
That's
to
what I'm
do
saying.
that.
Like this is one hell of a way to launch something, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't, and I'm not even, condemning or questioning him. I think his behavior is odd for someone who supposedly, is
my
accomplished man.
theory is
Which would mean he's made some careful. He has some careful and wise decision making. This appears to be off script from that.
My theory is he's bored. I mean,
This isn't what you do when
it's.
you're bored, dude. When I'm bored, I smoke weed, bro. Like, no,
I mean, and somebody
you
else
don't
could
do
say
this.
that's a bad thing to do. So I mean, I don't
Yeah,
It's
smoke weed
actually
when
quite
I'm
healthy.
well,
bored.
I mean,
I'm a
empathizing.
bad person
Yeah,
then. I'm
it
so
depends on the
bad.
study.
Oh my God.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
Woo.
it's an interesting thing to interesting way to rebel to be empathizing with R. Kelly. You know, that's I don't get it.
Well, it's a hot topic. You can latch on. This is marketing 101, and then just to have like an outrageous story, it's not out the norm. Like,
well, and if he had a different background, I guess I could understand it. I mean, if he had like a sketchier background and he
well,
was,
that's what you project onto him, though. You don't know this man. Like you really don't
well, I
know
mean,
the inner
look,
workings of
from
his
what I
mind.
understand, this guy is is accomplished businessman, has his uh, made, earned wealth, in some traditional ways. So, I mean, now obviously that could be the reality could be something different from that, but
Yeah, how about this? Why
that's
don't we
like
do
a
this?
example.
Why don't we take him at
But
his word, right? Why don't we take him at his word? Like I said, I always thought he was this millionaire,
yeah,
financial,
yeah. I
business,
mean, that's how he
blah blah blah.
presented himself, and
Yeah,
others
yeah.
have
Guess what he is? But
vouched
guess what he's
for him.
also? But guess what he is also?
Oh, go
By his
ahead,
own words,
go
disturbed,
to
right? So like he's got a whole bunch of things going on. I'm saying I'm taking him at his word. So yeah, he may have done that, but this is what has me over here questioning. Okay, well look, what a guy who's got a little something for himself. I sure the fuck wouldn't do that.
Well, he was
What?
homeless too. There's no telling what type of shit he's been through in his life. So I
I've been
mean,
homeless, dude. Like I said, I've been homeless. I would not do that. It
well,
just
you're
fundamentally
saying
doesn't
you
make
ain't
any.
got
It
no
doesn't.
skeleton. You ain't got no skeletons in your closet. Maybe you just have more discipline than him. But
Well, that's
that's
kind
just
of what that's discipline, morality, all that kind of coincides, right? So this is kind of why I'm speaking from this position. I'm like, okay, well, why is it at that we as black men, when especially when we've acquired something for ourselves, we tend to fuck it up,
okay.
especially
All right, all right. Okay.
like a lot
See,
of times high profile.
I gotta call bullshit on that. And you know
Call
why
it.
I gotta
Go
call
ahead.
bullshit on it? Who were on that fucking island with Epstein? Those were
I'm
not
not worried
black
about
men.
them. I'm talking about black
No, no.
men. I
But
don't
my
give a
point,
fuck
no,
about them.
no. My point is this:
I didn't come
all
over here to talk
men,
about a bunch of
there is
small hats.
evil. There is evil in all men, black, white, brown, yellow, whatever. So I'm not
evil
gonna.
in everybody.
I'm not going to overemphasize the evil of black men that everybody else possess. I'm just not going to do that. It's foolish for us to do.
Glendon was the same dude, right? Who would sit up here, chastise brothers in the manosphere, right? Yeah, this is the same guy. That's why I'm like,
Oh,
I'm taking him
look,
at
if
his,
you want
as
to
his
call him a
whole
hypocrite,
entire complete
hold
word.
on. If you
So I'm
want to
just
call him a
saying, you want to
hypocrite,
sit up here and bring other dudes. I'm like, no, I'm
I,
actually trying to hold this nigga to task.
I'm saying
Okay, okay,
if
okay.
you want to call
Complex.
him a
Com-
hypocrite, then that's a different
can
discussion.
we?
That's
Can
exactly
we?
what I'm
Okay,
doing.
okay. Can we define two things here? 'Cause I'm lost now. Complex. Are you saying he's amoral for telling the story, or allegedly doing what he did? So
Well,
is the
what? Well,
problem that he told the story, or is the problem that he allegedly did what he did, or
well,
both?
well here's the thing. You told the story. Well, I'm hearing that this is an elaborate joke. And
Yeah,
my position on that one is that okay, I'm not sure how that one is supposed to work. Even Black Uru agrees with this
Yeah, yeah. I'm not. If
one. I
it's a
don't know
joke,
how
if it's a
this is
joke, I'm
supposed.
almost thinking lesser of him than if it actually
Thank you,
happened.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Because this ain't very funny to me. This ain't funny
It's
to me
not.
at all. Yeah.
It's not.
So
it's
him
not
saying it's a
supposed to be
joke, him
funny.
saying
That's
it's
the point.
funny, whatever, ironic or whatever. I'm calling bullshit on all.
Right.
Calling bullshit on all.
I mean, yeah, that's the
So
reaction
now,
that's intended. Yeah.
so now you're this Bengali that's manipulating, everybody with your bullshit. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
That's your
See.
objective.
Okay, Black man.
Yeah,
Now you
yeah,
see where
that's
I'm
what
going
he's
with this.
doing.
Now you see where I'm going with this. Now
Yeah,
you see
that's
where
what
I'm
he's
going with this.
doing. And
Don't call him bullshit.
every time you have a negative,
I have
and
no support.
that's actually what he said to Anton.
I have no
That's
support
actually
for
what
that.
he said to
This is what
Anton.
I
You're
mean,
playing
I have
into
man.
his
no
hands.
support for that. I have no support for that.
Well,
No, no.
yeah. I mean, I can see that. I mean, that's just it's a different game out here in the social media scene. Is everything's clicks and likes. There's no like. It's like a code of ethics. There's no ethics or no code of conduct. Just the way shit goes now.
Then now I'm questioning the people, his admirers and his followers. If that's true, I'm going to question them.
You should question the
Wait, repeat
entirety
that. You
of
kind of broke up
YouTube
a
in
little bit.
general.
Wait, you broke up a little bit. Say that again. You're
Well,
questioning
I'm
what?
just saying. Then I'm questioning his people who continue to support him. If he's going to operate in such a blatantly dishonest way, then
Okay,
I
what
have
were
to
we just
question
saying
his
a few
support.
minutes ago? If you were a business partner of his and you caught wind of this shit, are you sticking with him?
I'm going to be looking at a little more closely. I mean, obviously, if I've been making money with him for years, then
Ah,
then that's
yes.
going to
Yeah, that
influence my
works.
position. But if there's some sketchy edges, I'm gonna look more closely at those.
Yeah.
Now, now,
Mm-mm.
I mean, you
now.
still make money with him, but you ain't invite him over to the house for Sunday dinner or nothing like
So,
that.
yeah, and definitely not around my daughter.
Hey,
Well,
Yeah.
the
and
thing. I'm
let me
sorry.
ask y'all this. Let me ask y'all this. Would y'all change y'all tune if some woman came forward and said Glendon Cameron did this to me and did that to me in light of all of this?
Well, he opened up the window to that, didn't he?
No,
At this
not
point,
really.
shit,
No,
we ain't
no,
got
he
nothing on it at
opened
this
up.
point. Yeah.
Look,
Yep.
prior to
Ain't got
what
nothing on it.
yesterday or whatever, whenever he released those videos, my view of that would be different. But he opened up the, it's kind of like in a court of law, you present something, in a court of law, you open up the opposite party to continue that line of inquiry, right?
Loose lips. Loose lips. What
I
do they
mean,
say about
he
loose
brought
lips?
that. I would say he brought that up. He made himself. He opened up his credibility on that issue by way of what he said. He did that. Nobody
Yeah.
compelled him to do that.
Nope. Nope.
So there
My
is. Oh, go ahead.
opinion.
Go ahead, go ahead. Because what I was going to say
Mhm.
is that there is a level of stupidity to this. But Smurger,
Yes. Yes. That
Definitely
is
is.
like the overarching point.
Definitely
Yes.
is. You know, I mean, at this
Yes.
point, whether or not or whatever he did is almost not secondary, but it's a separate issue to just how stupidly he's done all.
This is really what I was trying to get at, y'all. Like, man, we got to do better, yo. Like, come on, yo. Like, what is this shit? This is awful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
yeah, War Child. It is Glendon Cameron that we're talking about. War Child didn't like he was saying it was it the same Glendon? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's him. Yeah.
But
Hey,
I
is my
think where
mic
I would
working?
differ with you, Complex, is I don't see this as being endemic of black men or what he kind of has stupidly has done is sort of representative
Well, I think
of
what
us.
it is for me with Black Rule, I don't know if you remember, like even man going back to maybe like some of the BGS days from like maybe 2016, 2017, right?
Mhm.
And like I said, dude, Glendon was very critical of that side.
Yeah.
Let's just say, right?
No,
He was
yeah,
very
no,
critical.
I'm
He used to
aware
take his
of
shots. He talk his shit, right? All that. I'm so and so. I'm you.
I'm above
This
and
is
I'm
this. Yep. Speak on it. Because I
I
remember.
remember.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
remember.
All I'm saying is I remember all this shit, and then I go, oh goddamn, what?
Yeah.
This the same dude. This
Yeah.
dude right here.
Yeah. I have no right. I mean he be careful, he exposed himself by his history, by his prior
Thank you,
commentary,
man. Like
and he's got to stand on that. Like I say,
you
my
gotta
only
stand
thing
on
is
all this shit.
I don't think we all need to be washed in his shit. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so a Me Too case. You saying basically if a Me Too case came on him, how would we see it differently?
No, what Black Rule was saying, he said like if it happens, that's solely on him. I ain't seeing nothing.
He's already himself admitted to having sort of frayed the edges of uh,
Hey, we got an echo.
There's an echo.
Oh, my bad.
maybe Smirgle. He
There you go.
himself has admitted to fraying the edges, in terms of his dealings with very young women. He's admitted to that. So it's not a far stretch for some female to come along
To
and say,
step
well,
forward.
he had sex with me at whatever age. And what they're going to do, they're going to pull up all his videos where he's admitted to doing things
He's
that
doing it.
are highly suggestive
He admitted to doing
of
things
that.
that were legal. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
so
a skillful attorney can turn that shit topsy turvy in such a way
Thank you.
well, a skillful attorney can turn consensual.
and
A
which a
skillful.
jury will match her story up with his own commentary.
Well, we're talking Me Too. A skillful employee. My bad. A skillful attorney can turn consensual sex into rape.
No, but it's one thing to do that. It's a whole other thing, bruh. When you yourself is on record
Said
for making
yes.
statements of being
But
involved with very young, possibly
Yes, you said it.
minor female. He's on record of himself. It's not just him being accused
okay,
of something.
so I understand that, but we've already determined that what he did was legal.
Yeah, but well, what he has asserted appears to
Mm,
be
that's
what
what I'm
he
saying.
has.
Yeah, that's why.
That's
That's
what
why
he
I was
said.
saying.
But it's
That's why I was.
close. But it's close enough to the line such that if a woman, and God help him, if several women came
Oh, it's a
and
wrap.
said
It's
that
a
he
wrap.
had sex with them when they were
It's
in
a
high
wrap.
school, that dude's in prison.
It's a wrap. Well, not only that, Black Roo, you ain't got the lawyer fees. You ain't got the lawyer's fee for that kind of case.
I don't.
You
Okay,
don't have that kind of money.
we keep flip flopping.
And look, I don't want to accuse him or infer that
We ain't
broke the
accusing
law.
nobody of nothing. He opened his goddamn mouth.
I don't want to
Okay,
say.
but if it's
I
legal,
don't
it's
want to give
legal,
the
right?
impression that we're saying that he broke the law. What I'm saying is he, by his own commentary, has made it very easy.
Okay, well you're
That under
saying
certain set of
okay,
circumstances, he could be in some serious legal trouble. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
okay, Black
Yes.
Guru. All right, so we can agree that attempted murder is illegal, right?
Yes.
It's almost attempted murder. So like you almost attempted to commit murder, but you didn't attempt murder. Is that illegal?
Murder and sex with
No, we're
children.
using
Well, I mean,
you get what I'm
it
saying.
depends.
You get what I'm
depends.
saying though. You're
Two
saying
different things, man.
you're basically saying he almost had sex with an underage child, but he didn't because it's legal where he was and they were of legal age.
I'm saying if you're in a court of law and they run the tape of this guy's own commentary, and if you combine that with some crying female who said when I was 14, 15 years old, he touched me.
Oh,
or
see,
he
okay, see, there you go.
This guy,
To make a case, Black Uru, to make the case, you had to lower the ages.
No, you didn't, because Black Uru,
This
He
remember,
said
also
14,
said,
15.
Black Uru,
Margo, this guy said himself, coming out of his own mouth, that he was having sex with a young girl and she was in pain while he was having sex with her.
Yeah, dude, he said
And what age? What
You
age
can't
was
say
that?
that, man. You can't
What
say
You
that.
can't say that kind
Okay.
of shit, bro.
Okay,
It's
what
real.
age?
Don't do that, dude. Like you say shit like that, you open yourself up. Here's the other thing, dude. That
This is
literally.
what's going on.
Wait, Black Roo,
So
check.
Smirgo, this is where so then some females say,
Okay,
yeah,
if he,
hold on.
Let him
Some
finish, bro.
people said, yeah, when I was 15 years old, he did the same thing to me.
you're
And it was
lowering.
very painful to her. And guess what?
No.
His ass is on an express train to prison.
I get that. So
Dude,
if he,
he's
I get
not
that. So if
lowering-
he
no, he's
lied
not
about the
lowering the
age,
dude,
if they actually were
he's
underage, then that would be a problem.
Because listen, he also said in the video that he was corresponding with a young girl. He said this. That's why I was like, dude, like, what the fuck? He said this. He was corresponding with a young girl,
I think he was high.
and
I'm
I don't
certain
know. I don't know, dude. He
I
might
think
have
he was
been, but
high,
dude.
man.
What
Yeah,
you
and
He
that
doing
was
might have
this?
been.
What
But
that
I
was
don't
in
that
the
was
know.
a
But
that
first
was a
listen,
special
video.
I don't
high.
know high off of
I
I
know
what.
think he
you,
was high. I'm
the
I
telling
don't
you.
know
14,
high
the
off of
15-year
what.
old girl he was talking. That
I
was
mean,
in
he
the
was like,
first video.
I mean,
No,
you're an expert on,
he
you
said
know,
he
he
received
some good shit out
received
there.
nude pictures. He said he received nude pictures of a
Yeah,
15-year
Yep.
old girl.
So we got
Now,
child pornography.
and then
possession.
he later
So we
went
got,
on to
There
say
you
that the
so we
go.
girl
got
was
There
child,
you
actually.
go.
so we
He
got
said
child
it.
pornography.
He said it,
Yeah,
dude.
I get.
Child. That's
Okay, I get.
proof.
Okay, I
Hey,
get that.
one
I
at a
get that.
He
But
time.
said
what
One
it.
at a
later,
time.
he later went on to say in the other video that the girl was actually 17.
Dude, he possessed pictures of a 15-year-old girl. He already said it.
But
Nude
he said
photos
that's.
of a
But in
15-year-old
the
girl he
other
was
video.
corresponding with online.
Okay, in the other video
That
he
in and of
said,
itself is a charge, dude. That in and of
Marco,
yeah,
itself is
you can
enough.
say it,
Marco,
but is
let me
there
tell
proof
you,
that that is actually
Holy
I
true?
crap,
hope
dude.
Glendon
Really?
don't have
You
many.
can't be.
I hope
You
Glendon don't
can't
have
be this.
many bad
Dude,
I
shut
get
up.
what
ex-girlfriends.
I get what you're trying to say, but what
It's not. I'm not trying. I actually said it.
I get what
It's
He
you're
not.
saying.
said he
Okay,
got pictures
It's
of
not
an
good.
underage
It's not
girl,
good.
dude. What
It's
what
not.
what is what like what are you having difficulty understanding
okay,
about?
I know, I
She was
understand it.
underage.
He can
She
say
got
it.
pictures of her nude. She was underage. Do you know what that's called according to the law?
Yeah,
What? Say it.
it's called
Is it
child
legal?
pornography.
Is it legal?
No.
Okay, he admitted to it. You like I said, big dummy. Yeah,
Okay.
I
yeah.
mean,
No, I'm not calling you a big dummy. I'm calling
the
Glenn a big dummy. I'm
and
calling
even
Okay.
the
everyone.
Okay. 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 Let's give him that. Let's say that it is true. So
and
what?
Well, he said it.
even the painful sex thing with the mother and whatever.
That's the other part.
That's a potential sex crime.
Well,
That's the other part.
I've had sex with 21-year-olds that
No,
were like,
but this whole business where she's in pain and whether she's being coerced by her mother,
It's her
that's
first
that's some
time,
sketchy.
and
well, that
That's some
entire
that's
situation.
uh,
some
Well,
sketchy. That's some
that
sketchy
entire
business, man.
that
That's some
entire
sketchy business.
that entire situation is legal because the mother consented for the teens. So
dude,
I don't.
what you don't understand, okay? Once again, Smirgle, like I said, dude, come on, dude, use your brain a little bit. Okay,
well, I
so first of
understand
all,
that consent
no,
really
no, no,
doesn't
no. Let me
matter in
finish. No, let
America.
me
I
finish
do
what I'm saying.
understand that.
Let me finish what I'm saying. If you first of all say that yes, I was corresponding with and received nude pictures from an underage girl, bingo, we got you. Now we're gonna go and analyze all the other shit that you said. And if people
Okay.
just so happen to start to come forward,
Mm,
guess what they're going to do? They're going to R. Kelly his ass. Just like on a
okay.
small scale, because
That
like in the video, he said, well, hey, I got
It
away
sounds
with
like
it.
they
I'm
could get
not
him
so
on
they
popular.
could. Okay,
It
but my
sounds like
thing
they
is
could
they
get him
could get
on a
him.
solicitation of child pornography alone.
Damn.
My thing is, could they get him without any actual evidence of it? Can he just say he had it,
He
and then if they
admitted it.
can't, yeah, he
Yeah.
admitted it. But could they get him without without actually having any
They
evidence?
may ask him to turn over like computer records. You don't know
And what if
what.
there's no records of it on there? What if it just turns out he made the
Hold on.
entire? For all we know, it could be a blatant lie. He could just say that he had pictures of a
Okay,
15-year-old.
I mean,
so
he's
then
lying. He's lying.
go back. Go ahead, Blackaroo.
I mean, he's lying. He's lying. But if he's telling the truth, you also got the Craigslist record. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's true.
They can subpoena records from Craigslist.
and you can get in touch with the people who corresponded with those ads. You can trace
Yeah.
back to those females. You got them, bro. You got
Text
them.
messages, instant
Yeah,
Is
messages.
Craigslist even still up?
Yes.
yeah,
And all those records, they can pull
yeah,
them. They can pull all
yeah. They
those
still
records. They
got. I
can
mean,
pull
even if the company is
instant
no longer
messages,
active, you still
text
got archives.
messages,
You still got
phone
archives of
records.
those records. Yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
fair
what do
enough.
you?
they can get them,
Let's just
man.
say,
I don't
let's
know.
just
This
say,
guy, like I say, he supposedly is a smart guy. He must have been high or something. I don't
supposedly,
get it. Otherwise, I don't get it.
dude. Because I'm telling you, let's say it's a lie. If it's a lie,
It's the dumbest
bruh,
damn lie ever told.
that's the
Yeah, I'm just
dumbest
going
shit.
off. I'm going off the assumption that is a blatant. I'm just going off the assumption that is a lie, and him just saying it would. But if it's true, then yeah, then he's fucked. But like, and they pull it up, yeah, he's done. But like, if it's just like something he said and it's just whatever and it's not true, then like, what can they do? You get
I
what
mean,
I'm
if it's
saying? Like, if
wrong
it's
and
just
it never happened, then that's a whole different thing.
yeah, that's what I'm going out of the assumption. Of course, I'm not defending the possession of child pornography or anything. Like, no, but I don't believe he actually has it. I don't believe he actually had it.
I mean,
But I
okay, let
mean,
me ask you this, Margo. Why do you think that he would say these things? I just out of curiosity, why? What would
a-
possess? Because I don't think
attention,
any of us. I don't think because look, I think right
attention.
now. No, but I know what you're saying. Attention.
Yeah, that's literally the only reason.
I don't know if I
He
can buy
made a
that.
video about it. He made a
I mean,
video
look,
about it.
look,
It's for
there
attention.
are
Why do
there
you go to YouTube and make videos? It's for attention.
if he was lying about he had smashed Halle Berry or some shit like that,
I
then I can
think,
understand.
That's one thing.
I can't
but that's
understand
not.
how
But
it
that's
helps
not
him.
believable. That's
I
not
cannot
believable.
help him. I cannot believe that it helps him to be on record for smashing 16-year-olds. I don't see how that
Thank
helps.
you. God damn. I don't know how that helps.
I don't see how that helps him.
I mean, whatever business decision he made, that whatever line of logic he made in his mind, I think it's a good idea. That's why he did it. I mean, I'm not in Glendon's mind, but like I
Well, no, what I'm trying to
understand.
understand,
I
I'm trying to
understand.
understand your logic. I'm trying to understand your logic in why you would think that this would actually be an advantageous thing to do.
It makes
I
it
don't get
brings
it.
attention to his channel.
I mean,
Because
because
we don't get it, man.
even if you figure it would somehow provide him with some salacious attention, the
Yeah.
risk, the cost benefit, the potential risk and the cost.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
I get it. Now I get it. Now I get the argument. All right. I'm going off this assumption that this entire thing is fabricated.
Yeah.
Now, if the entire thing is fabricated, and we can assume it's fabricated, if nobody ever comes up, nothing happens to him. It's just a story he told on the internet that brought attention to his channel. So what? Like, what happens then? And then he could accomplish his goal of generating views.
Well, now he has a credibility because now he's a liar.
This is
true enough, but a lot of businessmen are liars. So I mean,
no, but he blatantly on record for lying, and look at what he's lied about.
Yeah, Biden lied about a lot of shit, and he's president.
No. Look, when you tell lies, typically you tell a lie to make yourself look better than you would without telling a lie. You don't tell lies to make yourself seem like an evil, demented asshole. Not typically. That's not usually how you
come on, dude. Really?
It depends. It depends on what your aim is.
No.
Depends on the market you're trying to capitalize on.
What market?
It depends on it depends on the
No,
it depends on.
You're saying no. Wait, hold on, Black Girl. You're saying it depends on what market. So you say that as if you would know that there's markets where this would actually be advantageous. So as a business in myself, I ask you, what markets does this marketing scheme apply to? Where it's advantageous, where you'll see ROI. Just curious.
Edgy assholes, I guess.
No. I said an industry or a market or where.
Some sort of reality.
I don't know the goal.
I don't know
the goal of his law. I don't know the goal of his Lost Kings channel.
So why are you making this assumption if you can't even logically come up with anything?
What? I just did.
I just said assumption when you
no. I just said I don't know the goal of his channel, but I said the market he could appeal to would be edgy asshole. And I wasn't just talking. I'm just saying it could just appeal to people that would appeal to.
Do you know what Glendon Cameron does, like in terms of like his business and all
that? This channel is completely different than his other channels. Each one of his channels, he has like 6 channels.
But he's the face of all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like multiple. Imagine you have multiple personalities.
You don't get where we're going with this, do you?
He did use one key word when he was explaining all of this. Manosphere.
Oh.
He did use that word, and he shouted out, "Alan Roger Curry."
Yeah, he brought them all into this shit, man.
And Edward Anderson.
Why did he do that?
Maybe he's trying to market to the Manosphere.
Yeah, I think that was the direct intention.
Yeah, and actually that would make sense. Because
How
everybody
in the
making
hell
videos
did it
about it.
happen to Madison?
How? Oh
And,
shit!
and Manosphere already
Do
has a bad
you,
reputation
Logan,
anyway, so
Logan,
people will
Oh
do
latch
you
shit!
on
really
to it.
think?
Oh
Do
shit!
you really think it helped
Oh
Alan
shit!
Roger Curry and Ron Wills to be associated with what he was talking
Man,
about?
Alan Roger Curley has been very critical of the Manosphere himself.
And they can denounce them.
Yeah.
All they gotta do is make I don't support anything that Glendon Cameron was talking about, whatever, make that kind of video.
Kill Deuce, you say Glendon and ARC both denounced the Manosphere, but Glendon mentioned ARC right after he said Manosphere. This was on his lead attorney. This is when he appeared on lead attorney. I caught a little bit of the lead attorney interview, and I did hear him say Manosphere, Alan Roger
Mm-hmm.
Curry, and Edward Anderson. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's
So what?
Ain't this a
So
trip?
so
you know,
whether ARC or Glendon Cameron denounced the Manosphere in the past, this man brought up the
so
Manosphere in a positive
we'll
light.
all be getting
Well,
FBI.
Thank you.
We'll all be getting
Oh shit!
FBI investigation sometime.
well, Black Uru. I was Black Uru. Remember that post I made about the single mothers?
Yeah, yeah.
This is kind of the same thing.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't really see the connection, but that's fine.
What I'm saying is just make an outlandish statement or story that garners like attention.
Bro, you wasn't admitting to you or alluding to the possibility of committing some state.
Yeah, that's true. His went
That's a whole
crazy.
That's a whole different kind of thing.
I get it. It's like the subject matter is different, and everything, but it's like the same kind of template. It's like you just say some crazy shit and it gets attention. That's basically what it is.
You know what though? But you know what though? We do admit that the Manosphere, the Black Manosphere in particular, has picked up steam, positive or negative. For him to try to even mention Manosphere in those two names does means that he's trying to appeal to a Manosphere crowd that we are being
The same
matched up with.
crowd?
Like,
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
but how do you feel about the fact that in doing that when he now makes these so-called overtures over to the Manosphere, he's linking us with some behavior with
Dude.
children. I mean,
I
what
mean,
do we think about
Pretty
that?
fucking convenient.
I
Yeah.
mean, Minister Jap did the same thing, calling passport bros damn perverts a couple months ago, and he's still in the man. Like people still fuck with Minister Jap. So like,
No. The difference is
never denied being
yeah.
connected
There you
with
go.
the Manosphere. That's the
Yep.
difference.
Jap never did that. Glendon did.
Yeah.
oh, I mean, okay, well then here's all right. So you're saying he's trying to gain off the Manosphere while previously denouncing the Manosphere.
Well, and if what you're telling me is that this is the way that he's going about doing it, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, this is business. Business isn't always
No,
clean.
He ain't getting a fucking dime from me.
Yeah, not from you, but from
you?
what I understand, nah,
From you?
I watch some of his business videos, but I don't
Okay.
donate to him or anything. I think his business advice is okay, but other than that, I don't buy his courses or anything. But other people might. I mean, that's just all that is. Some people might see him through that video and be like, "Oh, his course might actually help me become a millionaire," and they'll be like, "Okay, and I'll do $1,000 for this course."
But look,
Like, you
even
really
if he wanted to do the whole "I was a bull" type talk, that whole stuff,
Yeah.
I'm
Man,
sure he could.
but how
I'm sure he
lame is
could-
that though? How lame is that? I got a big dick.
Right, but I'm
He
just
could
saying.
be,
Yeah, I mean,
appealing the white. He could be appealing the white men with that one.
That's pretty obvious. No, that's what I was going to say. I mean,
Yeah.
there's an audience for that, and since he already has an audience, he could have probably, taken a built off of that. But why bring young girls into the discussion? What's the point of that?
That just was not a good
Empathize
move,
with
bro.
R. Kelly of all people. Why the hell?
Here's one
why would you
thing.
do that?
Here's
Well,
one
it's a
thing that
hot
he
topic.
said. Here's one thing that he said that was kind of cringy and disturbing. He was saying that usually the girls that fit this profile are people with weak parental backgrounds.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
look,
come
I'm
on,
telling you, look,
bro.
this
Oh
guy,
my
Yeah, this
man.
is
So
troll.
that
This
he
is
was
showed,
trolling.
he
He's
showed up
trolling.
said that.
No,
He
dude,
showed
what?
up
Yeah.
said that. He
He can't
said
be like.
basically, if they have a good
Mm.
family, I steer away from
He stay away
He
from him. Like,
he
man, what the,
carefully chose his language for this. This is fabricated.
them. Oh,
bro?
that
You cannot,
guy, dude. Let me tell you,
dude. Come
he
on,
better hope.
come
This is
on.
very
He had
careful
better
language.
hope that none of those white girls come up out of nowhere and say he did this to me when I was 15.
See,
He better hope and
Black
pray
man,
that don't happen.
my issue is that, see, I know when a person, and this is just kind of like me, sort of, my listening skills, right? I know when a person like is telling a story versus telling a story. If you catch my drift, right? Whereas like they're telling like a story, like some shit that's made up, versus they're telling a story about some shit that actually happened. And a lot of it has to do with the details. Like when people are very detailed about shit and they can just kind of ramble off all the details, all the little, versus when people are typically lying or they're making up something, you know what they do? They look up.
I
That's
watched
one
him
of the
while he
things.
was telling it. He was telling that like he was reading a recipe or something in the. I
Goddamn,
mean,
speak
he
on
was
it.
very matter
I
of fact.
mean, you can
like
He was
say
very
that, but
matter
it
of fact
depends.
in his description of all of that. There was no
Bruh.
apparent changes in body language or whatever. He was
Yeah.
talking about
Nah, it was like it
he was
happened
talking about
yesterday.
something he had did. He was
Yeah, it
talking
could
about something he had
be.
done.
He could be a good liar or a good storyteller. It could be
All
any
right,
number of
let me
things.
tell you
so he
something.
worked for the
Okay, you
CIA.
got it.
Yeah.
You
Let me
got
also
it.
tell you something. Let me also tell you something. When he was on the lead attorney, he was, lead attorney straight up asked him, was they doing this for some kind of monetary gain? And he was like, no, he was finding these girls basically that just wanted to have sex in this way. That's so he said there was no exchange of money. So basically, he was saying that through this method, he was getting all this sex for free. So, I
Now,
mean,
if anything, that's the part I'm mad about. You weren't even getting paid for this shit.
Well,
I
here's
mean,
another tale. No,
goddamn.
here's another tale. Not only when he did the video in the car, he was looking dead ass at the camera, pointing that shit.
He sure was.
Like you said, like literally, like he's
He was
giving a
very matter
tutorial
of
on the
fact
bit.
in his description of what happened. I didn't get
Yes,
any
that's what I'm saying. It was
impression
like
that
it was very matter of fact, dude. Like
yeah.
he was giving you the skinny on how to do this shit. I was like, nigga, like this is very detailed,
That's
my G.
that's not
Wow.
difficult.
Right? But then
I don't.
you know what then happened? You know what then happened the next two videos? How come he put sunglasses on? How come he had sunglasses on the other video that he took down? And then when he went on the lead attorney, he had sunglasses on. Now you
He
can't see
sure
his
did.
eyes, but when he made the
He was looking
video,
cagey. He was looking pretty
looking
damn
dead at
cagey.
your ass, no glasses on, looking dead at your ass, right?
Yeah, why
He
did that
could
do?
be
Look,
he could
why
be a
did he?
sociopath.
Hey,
You never.
Kevin, why did he do this, man? Why in the hell did he do this? I can't. Why did he do this?
stupid shock value.
Yeah, he could be
No, man, I can't
he
even
could be a
touch that shit.
I
sociopath.
mean,
I
if
don't
he
buy.
did,
I don't.
oh, you saying
I
he's being
don't.
sociopathic?
Yeah, he
Yes,
could be.
yes. I think there's some kind of maladaptive thing going on there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that could be from him being homeless,
Well,
and then it could also for him making like mass amount of wealth. He could be disconnected from society in ways that we
Yeah,
couldn't
maybe you think
possibly
he
because
got
they go
understand.
fucked.
by a weird
Maybe you
set
think
of
he got
rules.
fucked
Doesn't
too
make
much.
it right. Doesn't make it right, but they go by a weird set of rules as the income goes up for some reason. Not saying
That's
that
not.
everybody falls for
No,
that dumb.
Yeah,
man. No. And that's that. Like I said, dude. People just look because broke people do weird sexual shit. That's a misnomer, dude. Like I hate when people go like, oh well, when people make money, they do weird shit. No,
Well, he wasn't a
no,
millionaire.
there's
I
people with
would
money
He,
who do
say
normal things,
he
and then
wasn't
there's
he
people with
wasn't a
money who do weird
millionaire
stuff,
20
and
years
there's
ago.
But
broke
but but
people.
but
no. That's
also,
what,
would you
but that.
agree? But
But
would
I'm
you
saying he
agree
was
that
also
money?
homeless.
Would
I would
you agree
also
that
say he's
money give?
homeless.
Would you agree that money gives you access to better things, or not necessarily better things, like more underworld type things. Like,
Yeah, of course it
No, I'm
does.
saying
But
But
also
underworld.
wait,
being
No, no,
homeless
but hold
too.
on.
no.
But
Because
hold
He's
on.
had
because
people.
underworld things
nah,
happen in the
complex.
hood.
I want.
He was
And
I
he
that's
want
was
what
to.
I was
doing
about
this.
to say. He was homeless, so he's probably
He,
exposed some bullshit there, and then when he got rich, he exposed to even different, worser bullshit. I mean, there's no telling. Like he's had both experiences.
No, man, come
No,
on,
but I
y'all.
get it. But I get it. We live in an amoral world. We do. Yeah, I'm not saying that's an excuse at all. I'm not saying that's an excuse, but it's fucked up. And and what I'm telling you this is at the end of the day, when we gotta be realistic about these things. We don't want these things happening. I mean,
Like, goddamn. I mean,
you would think.
how
You
much
would
more
think.
blunt can you put it? Like,
You would
damn.
think. You would think.
uh, yeah, yeah, but I
Damn, this
mean,
disturbed you. Goddamn. I mean, like you don't know half of the shit that goes on in this world.
I'm aware,
This
man.
is
Like I
yeah, this
said,
is
No,
just the
we
shit
are
that people
aware.
talk
That's the whole
about.
point.
but human choice. It always boils down to human choice. What kind of person are you going to choose to be at the end of the day? Whether
Yeah.
it's legal or whether it's not legal.
Oh yeah, and that's when
Because
subjective individual morality comes into play.
Now,
There's certain
I
things I
didn't see
definitely
the
wouldn't do
whole.
regardless of the law. But I
I
can't
didn't
look
see.
down at oh my bad. Oh.
I didn't see the whole lead attorney interview, but I wonder because from what I understand, he has a daughter, maybe an adult daughter or close to that or whatever. I wonder, did anybody ask him, what would he think or feel if his daughter was in the position and he would put these young girls in? It would have been interesting to witness his response, probably without the reflective sunglasses.
I mean, I have a simple question. Was he aroused by his young daughter?
Oh God, stop! Oh God,
No, no,
stop!
no, 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 no. Because he likes him young, and
No.
no,
I
no,
mean,
and he
we don't have to.
once again, no. Because wait, he also said that. Listen, what did he say? He made the comparative analysis to R. Kelly. Like, I have that appetite like him. I just never acted on some of the things that he did.
Yeah, and he said that.
He said it.
Well,
He said that. Look, I'm telling
that.
you, man. He better hope.
Come on,
He
man.
better hope.
He
None
said
of
a whole
these
bunch of
females.
shit, dude.
He better hope these
bunch.
females. None of these females.
And we haven't even touched on this aspect. Like he said, he did this to empathize with R. Kelly,
Yes.
and
Clearly that was
Do you
look.
know?
That's like
he said he felt empathy for R. Kelly, and he told you why and what happened in his
He
life.
told you why.
If a Georgia district attorney
a
says
hot
that
it's a
they are
hot topic.
salivating, they are salivating at that.
Oh my
It's
god.
a hot topic. He put R. Kelly's name in the title. I don't know how this isn't obvious that it
Totally,
was
but he
all
also told
publicity.
everybody he's got the same proclivities. Told everybody he's messed with teenage chicks.
Yeah,
Told everybody he's received pictures of naked underage girls.
Told
I
everybody
yeah.
he know how to
I
groom.
get it. I
He
get
know how to
it.
he know how
I
to
get it.
groom
It
the
just
my
add
god.
from the
it adds
wrong
to the
side of
shock.
the track. You know.
It add, he just wanted to add a bunch of shit to it. Like I don't know how to explain it, but basically
I
he's
hope you're
doing.
on. I hope you're on his defense team because it'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
because I'm
I
pretty
get it.
sure.
Okay, I get how you're saying. I get how you're saying how this could backfire on him, but like I'm under the assumption that it's not just not true. So I'm like, it can't backfire on him. It's not true, and if it is true, then he has to deal with that. But I mean,
If he
even if
loses,
going by his story, he's good as far as the situation with the mother, but
But
the 15-year-old girl,
here's the problem, Smirgo.
yeah,
Even if it's not true, let's say it's not. Let's say none of it is not true. Here's the
yeah,
problem with what he's done. If he's got any disgruntled female in his history, probably has them. He has given
well,
a perfect opportunity to use his own word for them to tell a lie and get him caught up with the law. It
I
don't
And
even
mean,
have
there are
to.
a lot of
Hold on, hold on,
evil
hold on.
fucking females.
It don't have to be true. Like Demetrius stuff, the
exactly.
Cosby
It doesn't
stuff.
have to
It
be.
don't
That
have
could
to be true.
happen.
The problem is he himself said out of his mouth.
Yeah, and that could
yes,
happen with
dude.
a,
Why do you keep
but that
missing
could
the
happen.
point?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in America, that could happen with or without his confession.
No,
Bruh,
no, you're missing the point,
come
dude.
on.
Come on,
You too
dude. Like, are
smart for
you
that.
being?
There's
I
Come
know,
on,
women.
dude.
I get what you're saying. I
Anybody
get
can.
what you're saying. The fact that he
Anybody can.
admitted to it makes it
Yes,
worse. I
yes.
get that. I get that completely. But I'm
And
saying
if
it.
he has
And
had, if he had, let's say he has had an eclectic sexual background, which means that he's had involvement with lots of different women, and some of those women probably are disgruntled. Some of those women probably did not like the way things ended up. Probably did not like the sex, or
Well,
didn't like
what you're
or
saying
didn't
would
like the
happen
way. Let me
anyway.
finish, bro. So you've had all these relationships with all these women on Craigslist, for Christ's sake. You probably have had sex with hundreds of women, and now you put on record that you got some very questionable way of dealing with very, very young females. He has made it very easy. Yeah, any brother can be accused of anything. We're not going to disagree with that. There's a whole different thing that any random person getting accused of something. There's some man who has a very eclectic sexual background and has admitted in several public venues that he has had some very questionable sexual behavior. That's a whole different situation.
thank you. Thank
Mm,
Yeah.
you.
He
So
I
fucked
mean,
hey,
I
himself.
get what
He
you're
shouldn't have done
saying,
that.
but you
He shouldn't have
you
done.
just
He
basically
shouldn't have
what
said
you're
anything.
saying is you're just saying you're gonna get accused of murder, you're gonna get accused of super murder. It's like, yeah, either way you're
Let
getting
me tell you.
accused of something.
but
It,
here's
but
here's the thing.
hold on.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, Black.
what if you admitted to killing somebody?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Then
I
there's going to be
haven't
a
done
You
hell
know
of
how
a
that.
many
lot
rappers?
easier
You
to
know how many
convict you of
rappers have
murder
put it? You
than
know how
if
many
you had
rappers have
not
admitted to
admitted to killing
something in a
somebody.
lyric and got
Yeah,
and ended up in
Yeah, I
jail?
know. Yeah,
yeah,
I
Yeah, Rick
know.
Ross
I
lost
know.
some
What
endorsements.
you're saying what you're
exactly.
saying is yeah, what
Yeah,
you're saying is basically he's digging his own grave.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, yeah.
that we're trying to find the net gain in any of this.
Well, that's for Glendon to figure out. I mean,
You're damn right
I
it
don't
is.
know. I don't know why you're trying to figure that out for him.
We're not trying to
Well,
figure
I
out
know
because
because
all we see are minuses. I don't see
I
any
gave
pluses.
my
yeah, I'm
theory.
seeing L's right about now, fam. I
Hey,
can't. I'm
let
over here with
I
binoculars and
maybe
mean,
you
shit,
give me X-ray vision. I can't
trying
see
to
that.
find them. Where these
Hey,
dubs
hey,
at?
but here's the thing. Here's the thing. You know, we can't make it okay in some instances and not okay in other instances. That's what we're saying. You got San
make
Francisco choir talking about we're going after little boys. Which
make
is
what make what okay.
no. I mean, just
Just
I mean,
going, just going after the youth.
yeah.
Just going after the youth.
Take what I
Oh
can.
man.
Hey, but
I
but here,
mean, of
but let's be
course,
serious.
of course.
But let's be serious though. Let's be serious though. The scrutiny on a successful black man is 10, 15, 20 times fold with any other group of men. I mean, even like successful black men have talked about this. In certain circles, they're accepted, but in black circles, we're not.
Yeah.
So I mean, any kind of scrutiny like this, we understand as black men is going to come back on us 15 fold, even with our own people. So why do this kind of thing in the first place? Like I said, I would never just say, "Hey, you know what? I got this little confession to make that I was in the supermarket and I just started slapping people in the face with my dick, and it's
Oh
like,
man.
and then like even though there's no evidence of such incidents happening,
Oh man.
some people are going to take that shit seriously because that's the kind of idiot society that we live in.
I get what you're saying. So basically, what Glenn is doing is bad for the collective image of black men.
See,
Well,
I don't accept that. I don't embrace that.
Yeah, I knew you
I,
didn't.
I
You
look at
said that
that as
earlier,
Glendon, that's his own business. I don't
and
look at
that's
that
how
as
I
a blight
see it.
on
well,
the
no,
matter.
I see it. I see it as I don't think. Well, number one, Glendon is he's okay. He I don't know why the fuck he said this. He goes, well, I'm not as big as R. Kelly, so I got
what
what?
does
I got away
what
with
the
it.
fuck does that
He
mean?
sure said that. He said that.
Now,
He
now,
sure,
he
No,
says this
no,
right
he has a
he
point
sure
though.
said
wait a minute. Now
that.
wait. A
I think
scant
he was high.
48
I'm
hours
telling you, I think he
later,
was high. I think he was high.
he had to be.
I think he was
Well, I'm not
Well,
quite as big as R.
Oh,
Kelly, but
to
you know, I got
be
a big dick. You know, so.
and he also,
yeah, and I
and he
put it up and I
basically
made him
said,
hurt.
and I
Yeah, and
can't
then all
quote
of a
him,
sudden,
I can't
you're
quote
on the
him, but he
lead
basically
attorney.
said that the only reason I didn't get caught was because I wasn't as big as R. Kelly, or
Yeah,
he said
yeah, think
something
no,
to
about
that
it.
God,
effect.
no.
Yeah.
Think about
Oh.
think about how many dirty uncles we got running around the community that's doing shit to their nieces and shit. Like,
Yeah, but they not on YouTube videos doing videos about
yeah,
this shit, man.
true, yeah,
I mean,
but
God
because they'll
damn.
make, I don't know. I,
You don't have to know, bro. That's why we over here saying, like, what the fuck? It don't make any sense.
You
Like, then I
Marlo,
know you
you
don't
trying
know.
to
We
defend
don't
this
know.
guy,
Nigga, like,
man.
come
And
on.
there's not that much to defend. I'm sorry.
It
I'm
really
And I'm
not,
not
isn't.
even,
I'm not
and
defending
here's the
him.
thing. I'm
I'm
not
just,
accusing him of any crime. I'm not accusing him of any crime. What I'm saying is
yeah,
he has made it damn easy for himself to get indicted. Damn easy.
I mean,
hmm.
that's a
Yeah,
little.
I mean
Damn
that's
easy.
if that's somebody comes up and try to say something, it,
Yeah.
it's like how the
And he
first
was doing, white women. He was doing white women. Oh my
it,
God.
it's kind of, yeah,
The
He was
black
yeah,
doing, look,
yeah.
bull.
two white women. Let me tell
Hmm.
you, if
They
two
go.
white women show up, it's over for him.
They
The
call him a
If two
serial
white
black
dick
women show up,
bull.
slinger.
it's over for him.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, maybe I'm just looking at it simple, like because shit's fucked up. I'm just like, well, it can happen anyway. Like you can get accused of rape any day of the week. I don't know why it's even worse.
You keep saying that dumb shit, man.
Yeah.
Man, I don't.
And you saying it all out of the context of what that man himself in particular
Yeah,
did. Nobody
I'm
else.
not putting. I understand. I'm making a disconnect from the fact that Glendon has basically admitted to the shit, so it's worse for him. But I'm under like the general overview of shit's fucked anyway. So like, if you're gonna get accused of rape, you're gonna get accused of rape. It doesn't really matter. And people have been like sentenced to lifelong sentences for rape for shit they never even did in the first place, regardless of a confession. So like, when a woman's in that,
Which is
What the
all the
hell
more
does that have
reason
to do
why
with
you
anything?
don't want to
yeah, I get it. I
admit
get that. I get it. But
What the
my
hell,
thing
dude?
is like I'm looking at it like it doesn't really matter what you say.
so
If you're
you
saying
It
think
if you're
actually
so
saying
you
does
think
matter. It
so
no,
you
actually
think
does
well,
matter. It
my
really
thing
does
is my
matter.
thing.
Actually, yes, it
Well, yeah,
does.
I get that matters, but at the same time
Because
it doesn't.
there's a
Like if
thing
you're
called
sitting,
admission. Do you realize it's called? Have you ever heard
I
of this
get
thing
that.
called admission of guilt?
I get
Have
that,
you
but
ever
you
have you
don't.
ever heard of that?
I
So
get,
it
yeah, I
literally
know
matters
that.
what you say, bro. It
No, it
literally
doesn't.
matters.
yes
Not
it
when
does.
we
Oh
have
shit. Oh
not when we
boy.
have innocent men in
Oh
prison
boy.
for rape
I
right
just
now.
told you you got niggas that are in jail because they put some shit in a song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It
and we have
matters what
guys
the
in
fuck you
jail
say,
for shit
bro.
they never did.
Oh my god,
A
dude.
lot of men in rape, a lot of men
Okay,
in
but
prison for
in
rape they
this
never committed.
instance, though, in this instance,
I
he
get
said
that
something. So
instance, and I get that.
let's stay right
I
here.
gave you
Let's
that.
stay. Okay, so okay, if you get it, then let's stay here. If you get it, let's stay here because that's what happened, bro.
Yeah,
Don't do all that other shit. Let's stick to what he fucking did.
Yeah.
yeah, I understand
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
but
let's do
I
that.
feel like you're overblowing it. Just in the sense that like you're making it a
I
Me
didn't
Too
do
case.
shit. I didn't do that. I
Well,
didn't. Glendon did. He's the one who
no,
opened his
no.
mouth.
I'm saying the concept of him being like persecuted for some shit. Like if somebody wanted to persecute him, he would be
Okay.
persecuted. Like if you're in that courtroom sitting across from a woman that's accusing you of rape, you're pretty much fucked whether you did it or not. In a lot of cases. So
Well,
No, that's not true. That's not true.
if you literally say that you had sex with a teenage girl and you put it in and it was
and
so
you
big that
can
it hurt,
yeah,
well,
I get it. I get that. I get that
well, if
completely.
you
But I
get it, dude, then don't
okay,
digress, bro,
no,
because
but
he
I get
opened his
that.
mouth and said the shit.
But my mentality is also that I can say none of that and still get sent to prison. So like that's where I'm coming from.
Okay,
Man,
that's
look,
literally
when they
beside the
play
point,
back
though.
in court, and he said her pussy was so this girl pussy was so tight that it was hurting her. Dude, he going to prison.
I get that, and I
Like, what
cannot
are you
say that. I
saying,
can say
bro?
nothing.
Man.
a bitch can point at me and say I raped her and I'm going to prison.
Talking all this bitch can do all this magical stuff. This is what he said out of his own mouth.
I
Dude,
get
oh
that.
my
I
God,
get
bro.
that.
Bro,
I get
listen,
that.
listen. Here's the thing, right? Like, that hasn't happened to you,
Yeah, it hasn't.
okay? Yeah,
Not
it
yet.
hasn't happened to you. So the likelihood is not that great, given that it's never happened to you, right? Like just on a
Yeah,
law of
cause
like probability,
yeah,
law of probability,
right
law of
now is
averages, all that
yeah,
math shit, right?
the
Okay.
probability is
So
zero
so
right now.
so
Yeah.
here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. But what if you actually go on record admitting some shit? What's the chance then? Do you think the law of probability and the law of averages kind of kicks into gear just a couple notches? Do you think
Mm,
if you admit some shit?
oh, okay. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah. There you go. All right. Go ahead, Black Rule.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
What you're
yeah, no,
saying? What you're
you go,
saying
yeah,
is,
you.
I get what you're saying. You're saying since he admitted to some shit, a disgruntled female can latch onto that and have a basis to like get him.
Yes,
Basically, yeah. I never disagree with that.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So yeah,
just
let's not really deal with like the stuff that most people, you included, because we just confirmed this, right? Don't typically deal with on average, right? You just even confirmed yourself. You've been walking this planet this whole time. You haven't had to deal with being accused of raping someone that you've never even touched. That's never happened to you. However, when you actually go on record and you say a lot of shit that Glenn and Cameron said, it tends to follow oftentimes.
Yeah, Me Too case.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I mean, he's
But
been
my
a lot of.
thing, my but okay, well,
I mean, what he did was just stupid. I mean, regardless of whether he was trying to build a channel or whatever, he should have picked another method to do that. That was not wise. Just was.
yeah, so you guys just basically like you feel sorry for him or something, or like
No, why should we feel sorry for him? He did that all. He's a smart, accomplished man. He should have known better.
Yeah. We can't like I don't get caught up in being like the females. I'm not gonna side
Yeah,
with you just because you got a penis.
yeah.
Like so, I mean,
okay, yeah,
fuck ever.
okay,
You know.
yeah,
I mean,
because my
unless
thing
you can
is,
somehow prove to me he had some kind of psychotic moment or something. No, I'm not feeling any sort of weight of empathy towards him at all. And especially since he apparently, up to this point or prior to this point, was somewhat antagonistic towards the manosphere, that makes me even less empathetic towards him, frankly.
yeah, my thing is like I'm looking at it like, and granted, the way I look at things is probably different the way I look at things, other people look at things, but I'm looking at it as like, damn, that's crazy, and I'm just keep going. And like the only reason I'm talking about it now is because I guess it's just interesting at the moment. But it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really
People
care
have
that
very,
much.
but like I said, people have very short memories. We want this is only be the only broadcast that I'm gonna talk about this, and then like maybe in like 3 or 4 days, this whole thought process is gonna be gone, unless he does something else, or he says something else, or comes up with pictures of this shit, or something that is more extreme than
Man,
what's going on right now. But
if you
Black,
start posting receipts, that'd be some bullshit.
ooh, ooh, I'm talking about. All right, then. Shit, look like we talk about this a little bit longer, but
Man, if the
I think
receipts
I think
drop,
what'll
that'd be some shit.
I think
yeah,
what'll happen here. I think what'll happen here also though is that there was I recall maybe 2020 2020 maybe or 2019 or whenever it was, in certain areas of Black YouTube, right? There was a lot of like there's pedos in the manosphere, pedos and that whole thing, right? And I have a sneaking suspicion that that trope is going to resurface, right? Especially with Glendon trying to kind of maybe attach himself to the manosphere, let's just say, right? This is where I take the 10,000 foot view, right? I say, okay, so how do Black men respond to this? right? How do we
How do
respond to this?
how do we respond to Glendon Cameron?
Well, what I'm saying here is that what oftentimes is what often happens here is dudes get into a funk, they get into some shit, and then guess what they got to do? They got to go and seek allies.
Oh, like Saw Nader.
Oh, you're
Oh,
saying
you remember
Glendon,
that one? Yeah, that was interesting. I'm about to go join the manosphere.
Glen,
Oh,
Hey,
what?
so Glendon's gonna be used to justify the pedo shit.
hey, look. Here's how it goes. I'm not going to endorse Glendon Cameron.
Yeah, neither
I'm
am I.
not. I'm not a gatekeeper of the black manosphere. But my suggestion to quote unquote gatekeepers is to be careful who you let in this space. Period.
Boom. That's
Because
all.
it's like what you're gonna do is if you let certain folks in this space and you're doing it just for recognition and clout, just because they got money, just because they got subs, and they got no fucking integrity and some shit go down, then everybody's gonna be questioning this space. Period. Now, like they already
Yeah,
are. Like
yeah.
we're a collective of black men. They're already looking for something to be wrong with this.
Thank
Period.
you.
Like I know this through experience of that Facebook group I've had that I created for. So and y'all were saying something about being bored. I created that Facebook group out of boredom. And it caught fire
Is that
and
what
it
you
was
do when you're
country.
bored?
Huh? And I mean I didn't say shit like hey go get some 15-year-old girls. I wasn't saying shit like that. I was I was what I
Oh
was doing
god.
what I was doing was I was just trying to give black men a platform where we could freely speak without too much penalty or scrutiny for what we were saying. Because it's like I was going to places saying shit that was just truth, and people were just ostracizing me instantly and calling me a wannabe Tommy Sotomayor. So I get it. I get the scrutiny that black men spaces get, and when we go against what basically a lot of the community is saying, and it's not that we're buck dancing coons because we go against most of what the community says. It's because a majority of our community, and I'm going to be very very blunt when I say this, is stupid. It's stupid. We got a lot of stupid people. We got a lot of smart people in our community. A lot of beautiful, intelligent, assertive, all those positive words you can come up with. But we got a lot of stupid motherfuckers over here. We got a lot of ratchets over here.
Yeah.
So when you when you combine that shit with truth and brutal honesty, you are going to get scrutiny and resistance. They're going to say all kinds of things about you. Like one really popular thing is you're homosexual. You must be gay. Another popular thing is
The tropes.
yeah, all the tropes, all the shaming tactics. Oh, you hate black women, you hate women, you didn't get any
We
pussy
hurt
in
you.
high school.
We
Incel.
hurt you.
Man, I wish y'all could have seen this shit where I went viral, man. That single mother shit. That shit was bad. Like I didn't care, but like it was like yeah, I was called everything.
Man,
And it
Right.
look.
was
So what day was it? What day was this? Just a normal Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever you decided to make it. Just is that's that.
yeah. I went from just a normal guy to the most hated man in the world for a week. And
Oh, oh my God! You hate women. God, oh, you
yeah,
got
you hate
secrets.
women, you're gay, you can't be around kids because you might it's all types of shit. I was
Oh
just
my
and all I did was make one post about I wouldn't date basically saying I wouldn't date single mothers.
God.
And yeah, it was more elaborate than that, but
And then
like
you
yeah.
said, did you say this on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Black Uru saw the post. I don't even want to go over it. It's
Yeah,
yeah,
old
yeah,
shit. But
yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
it's
saying
entertaining. I was impressed with your
yeah, I
with
never
how you
really
were
talked
handling
about
your
it like
response.
until now. But like,
I was
yeah,
very
shit was
impressed.
crazy. But I'm just saying, I get that. I get that. Like, you as a black man, you say anything against like the like the norm, and you're just everything you could possibly be. That like it's bad. Like it's mostly because people are non-thinking, low IQ, emotional, reactionary, just basically apes. Like they're monkeys. That's the best way I can describe it. It's terrible, and like the amount of non-thinkingness that's like just permeates in these like amongst these people. It's like very like. That's why I stopped caring about a lot of this shit. It's like, oh, so the problem isn't really what I said; it's the fact that you don't have two functioning brain cells rubbed together, and that's why I have a problem with what I said because you can't think. So like at that point, it's done.
Oh
Like,
God. Like I've said similar shit. I mean,
yeah,
like G Serotonin was up here earlier. I've said some like I would say shit that I see as normal that everybody would view as just, oh my God, why are you saying this? And
yeah,
I'm like, oh,
and
my
I,
feelings. I'm like, you haven't never. You guys act like you have never watched an R-rated film in your lives.
yeah, you just say some normal shit, and all of a sudden you're the spawn of Satan. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, damn.
I say you must have walked home every day skipping and shit, singing like happy ass songs, listening to damn Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Like what the fuck, man? Like I refuse to believe that everybody act like they are as perfect as they believe they are. I refuse to believe that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Well,
Ultimately,
no one's like perfect, right? That's not it. But what and look, our egos are our mask, right? We hide our insecurities, right? Unless you're like the type of person who just loves to, wear them right out in front, we do that. You know what I mean? But listen, man. What?
I'll tell you. Here's what
Go ahead.
separates
Yeah,
me
go ahead.
from. Here's what separates me from the cavemen and the apes. I got a code. I
Yeah,
have a code. I mean, just like
yeah.
I was putting up this meme earlier. Just because you can do it doesn't mean you
I
should.
mean, you should do it.
Yeah,
God
yeah.
damn. That's
And
like
and and
me.
unless
It's like me. Like, yeah.
unless
and let me
unless you think it'll be funny if you do it.
yeah. Hey, but
No,
let
no.
me.
See,
I know
look,
this is
no.
off topic.
There's no
I know
caveat.
it.
There's no caveat there.
I know this is off topic, but Tyson Fury won. Deontay Wilder was beaten.
Oh
You
damn.
just yeah,
Well,
yeah. Tyson
at least,
Fury won.
at
He
least that's
won.
over.
Huh?
At least that's over.
Yeah, that's over. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I being from Alabama myself, I'm a little disappointed. But I can just like what the fuck can I say? He lost. So, I mean, kudos to the athleticism of both guys. The better man just won. So let's go back to the topic.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah, that shit was
No, I was
rigged.
just saying that. But like, no, man. You even if one embellishes through the ego and whatever the case may be, you still have to have a you have to operate in society, right? Like what you just said, bro, like a code, right? Like no matter what your own personality traits, your characteristics are, you might be, the extroverted type, party, life of the party type. You might be like the introverted type, like myself. You know, don't you kind of just do your own thing. But whatever the case may be, no matter what your modality is, we're thinking that we're operating with a base, like a code, right? No matter what it is, no matter where you lie in the spectrum, shit, you could be the square dude. I don't know, tech guy, thug nigga, athlete. I don't know. All the tropes, all the stereotypes, whatever that archetype is. Though I'm thinking we can all maintain like a code at least, bare minimum. And it's just kind of
Man.
disappointing when we can't like literally be on the same page with things that some of us may think and feel as though are basic modes of operation in terms of how men should be. Others say, well, depends on what the law says, So, yeah.
Well,
I
my
mean, as
my
far
concern is I don't want because this whole notion of whether uh, 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 Glendon should be denounced. I don't see any need for me or any of us to denounce him because again, first of all, he's not, in my view, a part of the manosphere to begin with. So denouncing him, in my view, gives him a credit that he never actually possessed or earned. And denouncing him, I would say, draws more attention to what he apparently or allegedly has done to us. So I mean, although he makes for interesting discussion, I don't really see what he did as having any reflection at all on any of the men who who are a part of this environment or a part of this uh,
If you're talking about the
rhetorical and
manosphere,
intellectual ecosystem, if
if
you
you're
will.
talking about the manosphere, this is they're going anything that any of these black dudes on YouTube does that draws any kind of negative attention, like that guy EDP 445 that got caught on some pedo shit. They are going to try to stick it on the black manosphere no matter how you slice it. I mean, and none of us, like, at least I didn't know who this guy was before all
Right.
that crap hit. So it's not going to be surprising when they do. Even, he directly shouted out the manosphere, so the association can be made no matter what.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
well, well,
he
you
could
got
have
you got
shouted
like
out. He could have
Can I get
shouted
some
out the.
Can I get some clarification real quick from Complex? Just real quick. Um,
well let
were you
I mean
were
don't
you
wait let Black Guru because I think he had a thought.
He could have
Let him
shouted
get.
out the
okay?
Ku Klux Klan. That don't necessarily mean he has any affiliation with them. I mean, and again, to my knowledge, he has not really claimed any association, any sort of viable, ongoing inter-dialogue, if you will, with the men in the space that I'm aware of. I mean, I guess he tangentially have some connections with a few of the men in this environment, but he's not a part of the colloquy in this environment. He's not a part of the dialogue. He doesn't add anything to this environment. So I don't see any point of. I don't see the the necessity to denounce him or to declare him to be excommunicated or any business like that. Again, I
I'm
think
not.
that's
I'm
just
not a
some
gatekeeper.
brother.
Like I said, I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm not going to suggest anyone who is a gatekeeper say, "Hey, you know what? Don't let him into space," or or make some kind of veiled
Well,
threat
no,
that
and
at the end of the day that
I
doesn't
haven't said
matter.
he should be. I haven't declared that he should be excommunicated per se. Although, I mean, look, I would say if you're going to, if your entree into this environment is what he has spoken of recently, I would think the wise men in this environment might take exception to that. Because if that's what you're coming into this environment with, then you're definitely bringing a stain, I would say, to this environment. You know,
Yeah,
you're coming in with that. You're not
and
coming in with your great business acumen or some other more illustrious parts of your past. You're saying, I'm in the manosphere, and oh, by the way, I was having sex with a little girl.
yeah,
Come on.
well,
Damn. Yeah.
they always stick the funky shit on us though. That's what
Right.
I'm saying. The association will. All I'm saying is the association will be made anyway, whether we like it or not, because it's on some negative BS. No matter how true it is or how false it is, and for the most part, we know it's full. We know these people are full of shit and they're haters. We know they do. We know they are. We know who they are. We see this shit all the time. So that's all I was saying. I mean, like, even if he doesn't really have any, which I believe at this point, he doesn't really have any true stake in this space. I mean, he has people who watch him in his space, but I mean, as far as the association with the Black Manosphere, from what I've observed in the research I've done in like a few short hours, I wouldn't make that association. But the people, but because, and I mentioned this earlier, because this is a black man space, you got people within our own community that will try to tear this motherfucker down any way they can. Anyway, we'll use underhanded, dubious ass tactics. We've seen people dox motherfuckers,
Yep.
threaten people,
Yep.
you just pull up on
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah.
I mean, just
Oh,
it's all kinds of dumbass shit that go on. Because black men are trying to speak. I've been doxxed, and a woman called my wife making all kinds of claims. And then she gonna pop it in a Facebook group. Oh, I called his wife. He ha. And you guess how I spoke? I spoke the same way I spoke on Facebook. Suck my dick. You're a loser. Fuck you. I was like, it's like
Yeah.
get a fucking life. Period. But you know, it's just
Mm.
that it's just like this. If he said all this crazy shit, and even if he was lying, we're gonna make it true because we have an agenda about this space. People want it gone, and they want to celebrate it. Cause when that Facebook group was deactivated for them 3 days, man, people celebrated. I wish I could show you some screenshots, but you know, dumbass that I transferred my data on my last cell phone, he fucked it up, and I don't have the screenshots anymore. But man, dude, it's like people be elated when black men fail at stuff like this. And you know, I agree with the whole thing that we don't need any undue heat on this space because there are dudes over here that's really trying.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hey, Smargo, you
Complex.
wanted to ask me a question because I'm gonna bounce here in a few.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What I was about to
So
do is I was about to get in the final statements anyway because we're almost at 3 hours, and you know I got a day ahead tomorrow, and you know there's
yeah,
also
okay.
yeah. So
This is gonna be like super, like okay. So complex. What code should Glendon abide by? Because you were talking about codes, but you didn't specify. It seemed like you were going societal code, and somehow it got into like manosphere code. But then you also have code as black men. Those are like three different codes to abide by. I'm just wondering which code you were referring to, and like
No,
your
I'm not. I'm not
your
talking
premise.
about like manage. No, I know. We have our own code set in terms of Manosphere. We call it Manosphere 3.0. Right?
Yeah.
You could, like literally the manifesto is written. It's on the Brain Trust YouTube site. Just go to the about section. Right? So that's our code in terms of YouTube. I was referencing what Kevin was saying um,
yeah,
about
when I said that
his
what separates me from the
yeah
caveman and the apes, I got a code.
that's what I
That's
was
what
talking
he was
about.
responding to.
Oh, okay. So basically, but what code would that be? Would that be a societal code?
I mean, I just don't do
Yeah,
certain things. Like, I don't go
right.
around fucking 16-year-old girls. Like, I don't, you know, like
Like that
that's
for
just
one.
it. Like I'll give a code that I've used that a lot of my homeboys didn't use. If you were one of my homeboys, one of my friends, one of my best friends, I didn't fuck girls you used to fuck with. And the reason being is, you know, you might want to hook back up with her. Don't want a best man situation. And there are so many other women out there. So many. And so, I mean, these are codes that I know I don't suggest for anyone else. Fuck your homeboys' wives for all I care. I don't give a fuck. But I also like to let people know that there are consequences for
Well, I was gonna say,
everything
don't
that
be
you do.
pressed by the consequences, then, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. If you choose to
Yeah.
do some fucked up
So
shit, then you gotta weather the
Yeah.
consequences.
And then
yeah, and
yeah.
that's basically where I was gonna end up anyway. So you just hop right to it. Basically, everybody has their own code. Like you can't really. I mean, outside of the law of this land, that's like a universal code, right? And that's usually what people will like go to. But like,
Well, I
and
mean,
then you
I
have
was gonna
like,
just say, like, for me, like, I have a code where it's like, dude, like, when it comes to chicks, dude, I don't mess with any chick that could theoretically be my daughter, right? I'm talking about in terms of age. If you could be my daughter, you're out of my range.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the code that works for you.
and
And
let
I
me tell you
and I get that.
let
It's
me
a
tell you a
code that keeps
code
your
that
ass
is
out of trouble.
let me tell you a code that is really mentioned around this space. A lot of guys don't mess with single mothers. That's a code they have, and
It's a
they do
code.
that for many reasons. My reason is like number one, I don't like when I was growing up. My reason was like I don't want to deal with the baby daddy. You know, I number two, I didn't do that, or I didn't do those over there. Like if they're not my children, you know, I feel like it's a sucker move for me to take care of them.
We
You
got the
know,
same reasons basically.
yeah, yeah, basically, you know. So, I mean, so I didn't get with a single mother. I got with a woman that didn't have a child, and you know, we had a child. you know, it's,
Okay. Yeah.
you know,
All right.
shit.
Cool. Well, thanks for the clarification, complex. I'm gonna hop off. Good talking to you too, Black Uru and Kevin. I'm gone.
Absolutely, bro.
All right,
Yeah.
Swergo. Thanks for coming up and sharing your thoughts. It's much appreciated, especially when it's intelligent dialogue and it doesn't melt down into a whole. I mean, it is this discussion got very passionate, and I don't mind the passion at all. I mean, my only thing is, you know, sometimes I wish people would just more so talk one at a time, but I could follow it. And we have very intelligent people that watch this programming, so I'm sure some of you could follow it too. But go ahead. We're kind of in final statements right now,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
I'll give mine. If you don't mind.
yeah,
Thanks for having me on the panel, Kevin. Like I
always
agree.
an honor.
It was
Always an
a
honor.
it was a very entertaining and energetic discussion, and I think we came to some point of mutual understanding. And for the most part, I think we agreed. I mean, I think what this Glendon Cameron thing does present an interesting uh, point of consideration, and that is the what should there be, if at all, any sort of vetting process, if you will, to earn a prominent voice in the manosphere. I mean, obviously, I mean, look, you can't stop anyone from creating a channel and drawing attention from people that may overlap, with other channels, and they overlap with other channels, or whatever. So they are maybe effectively in the manosphere, even though whether you or I or someone else might sanction their position here might not necessarily be so. But I do think, as this space grows, as the voice of this space or the voices of this space grow in prominence, I do think there should be some consideration, more consideration given towards what should represent this environment, or what should not represent this environment. I mean, should there be, for example, some declaration that, well, should it be some sort of declaration, for example, that Glendon Cameron is not in the black manosphere? Is that? I'm not saying that should happen. I'm not saying it shouldn't happen. Uh, but if, as you were saying earlier, Kevin, if the misbehavior of some men, black men, sort of invariably has a tendency to be used as a way to taint all black men, then maybe there should be some sort of governing authority, if you will, declaring or denouncing or excommunicating, or I don't know, whatever the proper verb is for this, but but something to say that this person does not represent the voice of this environment for whatever ABC. Just something to consider. Not saying that should exist or should not exist or whatever, but again, I do think as this environment grows in prominence and attention, and it obviously is, maybe there should be more consideration given towards how to better protect this environment. And I'll end with that. Thank you.
very good words, Black Guru, and it makes absolutely a lot of sense. I mean, um, yeah, there should be a vetting process, but at the same time, I got to call myself out on this one. What vetting was done on myself. You know what I'm saying? But I just like I said, I like to make sure that if I can give one more platform that our perspective can get out there, then doing I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, amongst other things. So complex design. Let me get this straight. You're from the Black Brain Trust, correct?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
just
One
all
of the
right.
founding members. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, man. I don't know. Maybe. Well, okay. Yeah, I do. I do maybe have a bit of a more staunch position and stance on it. Because the whole thing that we were trying to do here was, even when I only say we were trying to do, we are doing it, right? The Brain Trust still is alive and well. It's just we've got actual projects that we're working on right now. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah, things have been kind of quiet over there, but on the business side of things, everything's been moving, right? So there's some things we'll be bringing to the fore, but it's like the conversations have the conversations oftentimes reset and repeat and reset and repeat, right? And then these type of things don't really sort of help like the progress of things. Like especially if you listen to conversations and brothers are always talking about what we need to do to get better, to improve, to do this, get finances, blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's kind of like, well, damn, okay, so we do it all for this? Is this what we we get? You get the bag to get the 16-year-old? What do we? You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, man, like, come on, y'all, like, can we like really take a step back? You know what I'm saying? You know, and just kind of really analyze this shit. So I saw morality in the title that I was in on. I was in on Charles. Oh, I'm sorry, Edwards. I was listening to his live stream. I was in his chat, and he said, "Yo, you know, the conversation is going to continue over there." And I said, "Okay." So I came over. I read the title. And I said, "Okay, well, I could talk about this because I'm speaking from a moral position, right? You know, like I said, like yes, there's an interpretation of law, but then there's also your moral stance, right? Your moral stance can keep you well above the scope of the law, you know. Or if you have less of a moral compass, then you're typically engaging with things that you may be skirting the law, as they say. So just some shit to consider, man. I don't know. People were kind of tossing morality around here, like it's nothing, and I'm like, I actually think it's everything in this instance. But Kev, I appreciate you, fam.
All right, no problem, man. You guys are welcome anytime. You know, you offer some intelligent dialogue, so I never mind you guys being here. Uh,
That's what's up.
and and yeah, I mean, there is a moral factor in all of this. You know, whether we want to factor that in or not, we got to think about the things that impact us as a people, and you know, especially as black men. I mean, even like if he had did all that shit, that shit's fucked up. you know, there's no way
Yeah,
around that. There's
and
no
if
way
you
around
didn't,
that.
and it's like, dude, like if you didn't, then why the hell did you get out and say you did? But
Yeah,
let me throw one last thing out here, right? Because
yeah.
here's the other thing that I oftentimes hear, and I want to address this for the record. So this whole niggas with daughters trope, right? I have a daughter. I'm a
Yeah, me
widowed
too.
single father. Yeah, I'm a widowed single father. I have 10. She'll be 10 next week. Okay. So, yeah, let a 50-year-old man press up on my 15, 16-year-old daughter, right? Now, you know, what people will say in response to that is, oh, yeah, see, because, that's your daughter. And I know, yep, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, and this, that, and the third. And as a father, I'm like, okay, well, what if I had a son? Do you think I wouldn't do the same thing if at adolescent age, 15 years of age, 16 years of age, and you know he's at risk to to deal with some real adult shit when he shouldn't be. You don't think I'd also protect him the same way? So for all the people out here, especially the Edward Andersons who keep throwing out the niggas with daughter trope, no, it's parenthood, bro. For all y'all listening, it's called parenthood. You protect your children, son or daughter, whatever the one that God blessed you with. He, you're responsible for them. You're responsible, boy or girl. It's you, okay? Whichever one you got. So yeah, let's not do this, man. Like, come on, y'all. Like, we got to do better than this. And that's all I got, bro.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for those words. And yeah, yeah. That's some shit that like I kind of do want to address because I do believe that I come up here in a patriarchal manner and considerate of what's best for our people. And having a daughter does not mean that I will deviate from what
Exactly,
I
fam.
believe.
Exactly.
Just to make like I'm not sitting up here making excuses. It's just that if you're going to ask me the question, I'm going to answer it. Would I trust this man around my daughter, any of my female relatives at this point, even when he said
Hell no.
this, and even if it wasn't true? No, I wouldn't. And let's be brutally honest about that. So, thank you, Complex Design, for
All right, brother.
doing
I'm gonna
just
check
that.
out.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Yes, sir. You as well, fam. You as well, man. Appreciate you.
all right, all right. Thank you very much. So, so chaos reign. Yeah, we were doing closing statements, but you, um, want to say something, so go ahead. You got the floor.
Um, I've heard a lot about. He's a what they call a financial marketer, Glenn Cameron, his brother.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm
You know,
only like I only got a few hours of research on this guy, but
well,
people.
I
Go
did
ahead.
not know this man was black. I thought when people were talking about Glenn Cameron, I thought it was like a Caucasian man that was dealing with
He's
finance
very
and
much
marketing.
black. ADOS from
Okay,
in all aspects.
interesting. Well, my thing is this: that regardless of these outcomes we're seeing right now, what you're seeing right now is the degeneration of people right now. And you're seeing that we're bringing back to the old ways of Eurocentric culture in its highest fashion. Now, I know most females are going to use this and say, see, look, the black males are predators, yada, yada, yada. Which line we're going to still fucking suck anyway, and even go as far as do some other weird shit. But that's another story. That this community, as much as we want to criticize or not, when we talk about children, in my opinion, unless you're a father yourself, only you probably care about your own children. But regardless of everybody else with mothers and their children, they just don't give a crap about their children. I see too many stories of these girls, some that's underage, and they're for some reason getting not only access, but I find that their mothers were ones down the line putting their daughters in these positions. Now, last time I checked, didn't they say the data? Because I'm only going to use statistics briefly on this conversation. Because a lot of black people like to use this to use as a benchmark and to point fingers at each other. But let's go there. Didn't they say with the data in regards to children with mothers that they have a higher risk of being abused, not only physically, sexually, at a more high rate than with the fathers? Isn't that comes
Yeah,
to my mind?
yeah, because of a stronger, like a weak parental base.
Hmm.
Not a weak parental base does attract like he was saying, like Lyndon Cameron was saying, like they didn't have they had the girls, a lot of the girls, these profile a lot of these girls that they had weak parental bases. He was giving away a lot of, I would say, dark trade secrets. So yeah, he emphasized that point. So if
Okay.
the girl comes from a home with I would say, a weak mother, then she would be an easy target.
Okay.
That's not something I endorse, but when you get to inside the mind of a sociopath, that you will find that they you know research and believe certain things.
Mhm. Now, the reason why I mention this is now that I'm finding backstory to a lot of things, it makes me, and this is me now, when I posed the same question back in 2019, going on to 2020, about to mothers, if you're not married, or whatever case when you're dealing with a partner, you're shacking up, you have children. If this relationship goes sour, it's more highly advised that you give your children to the father. Most likely the boys out of everything else. Now with the daughters, I can't really talk about that right now because usually my focus is with the boys because the boys are the ones that get more at risk with single mothers. Because we're looking at the outcomes of the community. That's a definite result that under your care, we know what you're going to breed and produce. If your child, especially boys, be under your care from 0 to 18 and maybe 20 years of age on the average. So my thinking, and I state on this and hold firm in my conviction that is recommended if you're going to be doing the single mother junk as a single woman, it's better off you gave full custody to the father and let him deal with the burden of the performance with the children. From the so boys, and I'll have to probably say the daughters now. If everything that's what I'm hearing, understanding about, that not even the daughter's not doing any better with under your care. Yeah, they're gonna probably know what they should be doing because you're gonna have more of a disdainful discipline to your daughters than the sons. But if you're doing this type of predatory shit and women are calling this shit out, my hands are raised up, bro. You get me? My hands up because I mean I have nothing to say. You get me?
Hmm. Yeah, I think. Let me ask you a question. Well, the point you're trying to make is that
Yeah.
the because the kid
Mm,
being under the single father instead of the single mother would there would be more likely a chance of them being protected.
yes, and
Okay.
not only protected, but the father is gonna. Cause let's be honest. Charles did a stream on this, and BJ's talk about this. There's a difference between a single father parent than a single mother. It's a total big difference. People think it's the same. No, it's not. Because man, you're gonna have to you have something to lose. You have something to make sure your seed carries on properly. That means you're gonna be rough. You're gonna be straight up and honest, and you're gonna be very much hard, discipline wise. Meaning, and it's not when I mean discipline, I mean like this the beating. I'm talking about discipline that you're not gonna put with no shit as a man with your own kids. You get me? And they're gonna respect because you're the one that distilled order and that real male influence in their lives. It's different when it comes to a parent with a mother. You don't get that same energy. I don't care what women say they do something different with their own kids. No, there is no exception to rule to this. This is just an honest fact. Now, we know most women are not going to do this, Kev, because it's a power struggle. It's a power thing with them having control of the kids. It is what it is. As not only they get some financially, which is not much, depending on the income of the man on average, really is not a lot anyway, but usually it's the control factor. Now, if the father had full custody of the kids, he's not going to play these games saying you can't see your mother. He's going to make you see the mother. There's different energy, depending on what type of mother you are. But if you undercare and you have some grief with the father, you're going to be spiteful and say, you can't see, I'm not going to let you see your kids if you don't pay me or do this stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Your children should still have access to the fucking father. This shot, no joke. Why this man's go hoops to go see his kids? You're doing damage every day, every year of their development. So once they get to teenage age and they have disdain trust for you as a woman, even go as far as some of them you hear that run away from home and also because they don't want to be around your care for long because it's abusive and it's toxic. And I've seen a lot of children that run away. I know not run away on the average with two parents. They run away from one parent because they can't deal with the abuse in the household, where they've gone through sexual abuse or physical abuse. Something in the household with their mother, she's doing that she's not doing that's causing more harm to the children. And I believe that why the states give the women the right is not the nurturing factor, but is to cause more what we call chaos and disorder within the children in their development. And this has been going on for maybe almost 40 something years. And it's come to a point now because certain laws are changing a little bit. I think it needs more than that. Now, I know most men are not going to try to fight the system in certain ways with the law and stuff. So the next best thing is if you're going to have children with any woman, you might start prepared that if this woman is unfit for a reason and she can have a hard time, you might have to start fighting to get full custody of children if it has to come down to it. There's decisions we're going to have to make. Can't keep talking about this. I see too much stories. A lot of men they get caught up over some nonsense. And what Glenn Cameron just did on video, if he really did that, not only he's a fool, but he's stupid, and he deserves the full extent of the law if he's up or telling on himself. That's what it is. How the fuck you gonna go in public and say like there's nothing? You stupid? Or you know you're a black man, they watching your ass? That you just incriminate yourself? I don't know what's up with this, Cav. A lot of men are thinking logically down the line in their actions. You think everything you're doing and you're being put out in the media, especially if you're well-known, what do you call it, either telemarketer or one in the business of finance, and you're big and you're making money, and you go telling yourself in front of the camera. Where is his PR? Where is people that here to help him? It makes one. If these guys got money like that, why do you have no supervisor to go and advise what to do? What's the next step? They should not be out here with smartphones and all that stuff and start telling their fucking business. Stupid. Very stupid and careless. Very careless. He's getting his L, bro. Now, if anybody fuck with him after this, that's on y'all. But he should take this big L. If that's what he's saying, putting it out on his own Instagram, wherever, about the story. He should shut the fuck up. Because I don't know anything about damage control. And matter of fact, let's be honest, they don't know anyway because they don't spend the money. They don't know if they're making money in the thousands, millions. You should have a team properly that advise you on how to move if anything of any nature of this possible happen. But they're not thinking like that because they feel they don't need it. I guarantee you, non-black men got these PRs at their disposal. I'll tell you, that's a fact. Cause you don't hear them start opening them up and they did shit like this. You don't see them go on camera and then start telling their side of the story in some other business. So black men need to start learning from other groups of men how to move like it. If you are incriminating yourself, gotta move better than this.
Or, or let's have this crazy idea. How about
Yeah.
black men just do better for black men? How about that? Let's just go
But
to
they shouldn't
let's
do
just
that
go to
on
a common sense code, man. Look, okay, but let's say I was trying to end the show, so
okay, yeah, yeah. But you know what I'm saying. I don't want to be long with it, but I just want to give you my take because I don't know this Cameron Cat. I know this has been circling for the last 2 days. He would say the TL talked about it. I didn't watch it because I don't know this brother. But since it was him that did this, I mean, I won't do no content because when I look at the outcomes and he putting videos on himself, what more to say? This is a waste of time, in my opinion. I know it makes for good content, but for logic state and for lessons learned, which a lot of men are not learning, that you're right, we should be better, man. We should do better, and we should be doing better. But not only doing better, but we should be smart moving out here. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, thank you. Um, if you close out, put me back. I do want to talk off here. But thank you, Kevin.
let me just go ahead and say
Kev,
this real quick. Hold on. Let me go ahead and say this, and let me just go ahead and end the show. You know, he's playing a stupid game, and we know the saying: play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Hopefully, like at the end of the day, for motherfucker, like he if he's guilty of any kind of violating any kind of law, then he deserves to be punished. And I don't think anyone is refuting that. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. If he was lying, then his credibility is kind of shot. Because I mean, you're full of shit and you can't be trusted. So it's a double-edged sword either way. So, but as far as the law goes, if the laws are the way they are and he can't be prosecuted, then he can't be prosecuted. But at the same time, we are people that advocate that there must be changes in the law. And there's something that we cannot forget. And I'm not saying that laws should change to fit my narrative because I'm feeling a certain way. I'm just saying at the end of the day, it is what it is. And that's all I'll say about this. Good luck to whomever, but this was pretty stupid at the end of the day. So, all right, thank you for watching, guys. One more time, joining me on another Saturday, and I will be back tomorrow night, with another cool topic. So, thanks for rocking with me each one of these days of each one of these weeks that I make these broadcasts. And let me go ahead and say this: long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. Till next time.